Murdoch. I'm coming to get you.
Remember, Sally, when I promised to kill you last? I lied.
I am the Lord!
Get off my plane.
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass, and I'm all out of bubblegum.
John, I'm not gonna shoot you between the eyes. I'm gonna shoot you between the balls.
The disease, and I'm the cure.
I'm gonna take you to the bank, Senator Trent. There can be only one.
Dead or alive, you are coming with me.
Yippee-ki-yay. I'm going to kill them all, sir.
What's going on, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Gimme Back My Action Movies, the podcast. I am one of your hosts, Charlie. With me, as always, is Nate. Say hello to the people, Nate.
Yippee-ki-yay, Charlie.
Yippee-ki-yay, Mr. Falcon. And next to Nate is our beloved Pete. Say hello, Pete.
I already miss Ninja November. I kind of want to go back and do it again. You
For
don't?
some reason, I don't. Like, 50-50 is not good odds, on the podcasts.
It's decent odds.
No.
You're a baseball player. That's good odds.
But it's not baseball. It's
ninjas.
podcasting, and 50-50 is not good odds. And Pete brought a guest tonight.
I did.
Pete, who did you manhandle
Con.
and hog tie and throw in here to show up on this episode?
I owe her a lot of cash, but it's my bestie from Good Beer Bad Movie Night. Kathleen's joining us tonight. Hi, Kathleen.
Hello! I finally get to watch a good movie.
You're not going to watch it on our show, babe.
No, I don't. You suck.
We hear the pain in Kathleen's voice all the time. Although I will have to say I'm a little disappointed there's not been as many ews lately on the show. So
Yeah, well, I mean, maybe I finally got these boys whipped into shape and they're just not as disgusting anymore. It's hard
that
to
is
say.
Challenge
not true
accepted.
because we record with this guy every week. It's definitely not.
I don't know. Maybe you get it all out of his system before I have to deal with him. So,
After Ninja November, I believe that. Yep.
yeah, I was going to say 50-50 is pretty decent odds. I'm like 1 for 12 annually. So, yeah.
Yeah, we play the big margins over here with a weekly podcast. But yes, we have Kathleen on, and we are kicking off December with Die Hard with a Vengeance, the non-Christmas entry, but
Plenty of
there's still a Christmas reference in the movie, so I was
at
like,
least two.
it counts. We'll take it. Jolly fat guy. Wears a red coat. Hangs around with reindeer.
If it's Christmas time, it's Die Hard time. And we've already done one, and we've already done two. So now the December tradition continues on with A Vengeance.
That's right. Does that mean we have to do the next two years now?
At least the next one.
There aren't
Okay,
anymore.
then-
This is the
Yeah.
last one, right?
Yeah, the fourth one's...
The fourth one's not terrible.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
basically a B movie version of 3. They tried to recapture the magic of 3 by giving him a buddy, and the storyline just wasn't strong
Yeah.
enough.
And then
he
we
does
just
take
don't...
out a helicopter with a car, though.
Yeah,
so
because he was out
he
of
gets
bullets.
points. He was out of bullets.
He throws a car at a helicopter. One of the greatest scenes ever.
And then
It's
five's awful.
Very inventive. Yeah.
See,
Well,
I-
5. What year did 5 come out?
Yeah.
Oh.
2000. bleh. I
Yeah.
don't even.
2012.
I care so little for
Not something I
5.
committed to memory.
Yeah. Well, you
I think
said
I've
you did
seen it.
Homework, so
I think
just trying to-
I've seen it
Hey,
twice. It's all I've ever watched in that movie.
I saw it in
Once-
theaters, and that's it.
yep.
I
me
went
too.
once and went, I didn't like that. And then after long enough, I went, well, maybe I'll like it again. No, I
Nope.
still don't like it.
Good. Holds up then.
Nate, aren't you still having some type of feud? We've kind of
Oh,
dropped the
yeah. I
feud
kind of
lately.
have forgotten about that. You know, feuds, they come and go.
Fucking Nate just
Jai
gets
Courtney.
forgetful. Damn you, Jai Courtney.
Trying to ruin every fucking franchise from the 80s that you
Is
possibly
that
can.
24's feud? Is that who you picked?
I think it might have been.
Okay. We haven't talked about that in a long time.
Well, he hasn't pissed
And
me
we
off
do a
in a
weekly
while.
show.
Who can remember with him, man? That's either it's Pop Tarts or Jai Courtney. I don't know
Oh,
which
boy.
way this guy goes.
Oh, boy.
Troy has been keeping me apprised of your Pop-Tart arguments over the last couple of episodes, and I thought of you guys when I saw somebody make some kind of Christmas pie where the crust base was chocolate chip Pop-Tarts.
All right, you're speaking my language.
That had like a cold pie, like a cream pie, like base, and then they broke up over the top of it the s'more Pop-Tarts. And I was like, this is where
There
the
we
boys
go.
start fighting
This
again.
is it. This is a good
I'm
pie.
out. You
I
lost
was
me.
like, this is
No.
where the boys start fighting again.
Yep. You want to make a butterscotch pie and put that brown sugar and cinnamon as the crust there, and you just, sprinkled the leftover on top of the butterscotch pie. That's where you go. None of that s'mores crap. All right, we got a trailer. Let's play the trailer for Die Hard with a Vengeance.
They're headed east on 72nd towards the park.
He's a New York cop with a nose for trouble.
He's taking the scenic route.
A knack for making enemies. And a talent for beating the odds. On a good day, he's a great cop. On a bad day, he's the best there is.
Oh, what happened? You got a AAA card?
Die Hard with a Vengeance.
I love the 90s trailer voice guy.
That's explosive.
We adore it. Now that was the really short version. There was a 3-minute long trailer. that I
we
was
don't
just
need
like,
to do that.
We don't know.
No.
I'll watch the movie again before I watch a 3-minute long trailer.
We got the joke, and that's all we need. Just move along. But that's how you make a trailer, folks. Man, boy, trailers today snooze fest.
Yeah, I remember somebody asking me, how will we know if the movie is good when the movie trailer guy stops doing the movie trailers? And I was like, I don't know. Somebody else will do the movie trailers.
There aren't any movie trailer guys anymore. Is there?
I
haven't
know.
seen
Like,
a trailer with
I
That's a
think
really
it's
good question.
Just
Yeah.
like clips from the movie. They let
Yeah.
the air quotes movie
Yeah.
sort of speak for itself.
That's whenever I can't find trailers, is when it's nothing but music and clips, and no one talks about what's going on screen.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Or it's in
I don't-
Japanese.
or Pete's gives me Japanese. Yeah. And
think that's-
subtitles. It's par for the course with him. That's really what it is.
So I
All
think-
right.
Oh,
Well-
I invited you on here to be my friend. Are you going to gang up with these two knuckleheads?
We're
All
your
night
friends
long?
too, Pete, and we
Yeah, we're
Well,
friends.
I mean, you're not going to say anything terrible about Bruce or this movie, are you?
Hell no. This movie
right.
rocks.
Fine.
This movie's
Then you should be fine.
the
But, you know,
fucking
I got to
bomb.
be free to be me, baby. So we'll just see what happens.
Don't put her in a box, Pete.
That's
Stop it.
right.
Don't you dare do that.
That's right. I can
Well-
still fit through the air ducts if I mean to. So
That's it. As a contractor, air ducts are nowhere near as big as Hollywood made us think it was.
no.
Back in the
And,
movies.
and they're not that well attached to the ceiling
Nope.
either to hold hundreds of pound
They're-
human beings.
they're
to
not
crawl
meant
through them.
to hold anything more than
Excuse
the
me.
weight of air.
I
Yeah.
think they could hold me.
Correct.
I'm
I've
certain
seen
one could hold me.
I've seen some that could probably hold Nate.
Yep,
but
I could fit
yeah,
in one.
for the most part until it ducks down, and Nate's stuck now in the duct forever.
The
and
duck
that's just where he
the
lives.
all
duck
right.
ducks down.
Yeah, the duck ducks
Grease me
down.
up,
Okay.
woman.
You grease him up.
Ew.
There you go.
Hey, we got the U over here. I will take it. Oh,
You just painted a picture for her, Nate.
greasy picture. All right, well let's talk about our history with Die Hard with a Vengeance. Nate, let's start with you, brother. What was your first memories of Die Hard with a Vengeance?
I honestly think we had rented it from the local grocery store back when
Oh,
it
yeah.
had came out. Yeah. You know, you take the little tag up to the counter
Yes,
and it would say
old
like
school.
15 and you'd, hope that they didn't mess that up.
Please
But
don't
I-
mess it up.
That's the earliest memory I have with this is I'm fairly certain it's VHS and then it's just been a constant rotation for what seems like forever now. So
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Kathleen,
I
what's
saw
your
this in
earliest
the
memory?
movie theater.
Yeah, baby.
So 1995, I was a freshman or sophomore, depending on what time of the year it was, in college. And I was either, if it came out in the summer, I was home here and I got to see it in a nice movie theater. If it came out during the school year, I was down
Yeah.
in Rye Grand and I saw it in not a great movie theater. But yeah, I was super pumped up about it for sure.
Oh, absolutely. We'll let Pete drink his beer. He's getting
Burp.
he's lubing up here. Pete, what's your first history with Die Hard with a
Much
Vengeance?
like Kathleen, I was old enough to see this in the theater in 1995. I think I was officially full-time living in Columbus at the time, so I probably took the bus down to the AMC or the Lenox or something. I don't know, from campus. I'm not real sure how. I know I didn't have a car at the time, so either someone took me or I bussed up there. But yeah, I was very excited to see this. I know I say haven't seen a whole lot of theater movies when I was in college, but this one was a must. I had to go see this one.
Understandable. It's Die Hard.
Mhm.
You have to. So yeah, in 95, I was well into action movies, about 15 years old. I didn't get to see this one in theater, but this was new release. Me and Dad rented it like
Beautiful.
immediately because I was already, baptized into Die Hard. I watched Die Hard early enough in my life that I saw it on television first. So then it was edited and Dad didn't have to mute the VHS the whole time. So I got the Yippee-Ki-Yay Mr. Falcon intro
I
into
love
Die
TV
Hard.
edits.
I actually want that. Like, why can't you give me that as an option on Blu-ray? Give me
Yeah,
the
get you both.
television
The
edit.
TV
Alternate-
cut.
An alternate cut, yeah.
I have been saying for probably 2 years now, we need a edited for TV streaming channel.
Oh my
Because there
gosh.
are movies that Millie wants to watch that it's like, I mean, it's fine except for that one part. Or like,
Yeah.
we think it's fine, and then you watch it and you're like, oh, I forgot about that scene. It's
Totally
like,
forgot about
why
that.
did I forget about that scene? It's like, oh, because I've maybe seen said movie once, twice on VHS, DVD in the theater, whatever, but I've seen it 300 times on TV. So that becomes what it is that you remember and not the other. So that's why when you go back to watch it again, you're like, yikes, why don't I remember that? It's like, oh, because it was cut out for
Yeah.
commercials.
Dan Aykroyd, Ghostbusters.
Right.
Yes, that's exactly
Yeah.
the first one that caught us out with that. And so thankfully it just
That was the one on the most recent watch where I went, no.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Jody, Kathleen, did Jody ever tell you her mom's story about what was it, the Hangover? And
No.
she thought,
The fact that Jody's mom has even watched The
okay,
Hangover
so-
is hilarious.
so we've all seen The Hangover. We know what The Hangover is all about. Funny movie.
Right.
But Jody's mom saw it on like USA or TBS or
I
something.
think it was on TBS for a while.
Okay, so she thought this movie was hilarious, and it is. It's a very funny movie, but she had only seen it on TBS, so she caught it a couple of times, so she really enjoyed it. She went out and bought the DVD and sat Jody's dad down. Now, those of you who don't know my wife's parents, they are the most prim and proper people out there. I have never heard them say a swear word or anything disparaging to anyone ever. They go to church every Sunday. They're very, very good people. And I'm not saying anything bad about them. This is just who they are. This is part of the story. So mom puts the DVD in and she and Ken are watching it, and they get to the end of the movie and Ken looks at Marcia and goes, really? she's like, well, I saw it on TV and I just thought it was I don't know what happened. Now, Jody does a much better job telling this story because
Oh my god.
she can get her mom's inflection and her dad's
Absolutely.
mannerisms as well. Oh gosh.
I
one of
love
the-
that they waited till the end of the movie.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
And he's
This is-
just like the whole time he's going. There has to be a moment where it's going to make sense to me all of a sudden. Like
This-
I'm gonna,
yeah.
something is going to happen. And I'm going to go. Oh, this is why she likes this movie.
I have to
Right out the
imagine-
gate.
This is the woman that also started sending text messages out with WTF at the end.
Oh
Thinking,
yes,
well, that's fun. And
yes.
it took an act of Congress to for someone to sit her down and go, Marcia, that's not what you think it means.
Yeah.
I don't know
think
what you think it means,
that
but it's
means.
not what you think it means.
I'm gonna start using WTF in any work-related environment.
Work related, right?
Oh my God,
You should.
that is so
Awesome.
funny. That's amazing.
All right, so yeah, so I've had Die Hard with a Vengeance forever. I think I've seen this one almost as much as I've seen the first one.
Wow.
This is like a comfort one that I'll just throw on, just have it on in the background. If it's on one of the channels,
Mm-hmm.
just sit there and watch it. And so, yeah, and I've seen Die Hard 2 about half that much.
That's
But-
because Die Hard 2 is half the movie that
be
is
nice.
Die Hard
Not.
with a Vengeance.
You be
I will
nice.
not. I will
You
not
like what
forgive
you
Die Hard
like.
2 for
and I will
existing.
forgive Charlie for liking 2.
There's nothing to forgive because it's an awesome fucking movie and you can just stop it now. But no, I probably it goes Die Hard, then Die Hard with a Vengeance
Sure.
in my list.
Yep.
It always has been. There's just something about this movie.
It's like Indiana Jones. You got Raiders,
And you
Last
got
Crusade,
Last
and
Crusade.
then- yeah,
Then you get a Crusade. I don't understand
And
the
then
hate
you
for
really
and then
do
Crusade.
stop.
Temple. Well, I like Temple.
Temple's
Temple's
okay,
fun.
but I really
Yeah,
don't do,
Temple's
you don't
okay.
do
Oh, there's only
4,
three.
you don't
There's
do-
only 3 Indiana Jones.
Kathleen, what are you
movies.
talking? There's only 3
Yeah.
Indiana Jones
Correct.
movies. Stop it. Oh, I'm sorry.
Correct.
You're talking about the Indiana Jones Chronicles. The
Oh,
when he was
young
young
Indiana
young
Jones.
Indiana
Yeah,
Jones
young
movie.
one.
Right. Those
with
were
the
fun.
river. Yeah,
Those were fun.
exactly.
Yeah, well, I love those, but yeah, I also I remember the Christmas that I got the Die Hard trilogy for PlayStation for the
Oh,
video
no.
game.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Were those
dude,
any
they had-
good? I have no idea.
You know what? I had fun with it.
I
'cause
liked
Okay.
them.
You
you?
had
Yeah.
PlayStation's version of the light gun, so you had the one game that used
Oh,
that.
was it a shooter like that?
No,
And-
so
well,
it was 3 different game
three.
styles.
Oh.
And
yeah.
each movie had its own game style. Like the
So-
first one was a third-person shooter.
Yep.
Then the second one in the trilogy was, like you said, like a railgun. Like you
Uh-huh.
had
Yeah, it's like a-
crosshairs on the
Kind of
screen.
like Terminator, the arcade
Yeah.
game.
After,
where you shoot
Afterburner.
it.
Oh,
And
And
the
then-
third one
Yeah,
was
Resident
like
Evil or-
driving. You were like in
Yep.
the cab.
It's
and you
just
had to,
Crazy Taxi.
Yeah.
No kidding.
Make it through New York, get to all the different, checkpoints, and
Yeah.
I enjoyed the hell out
Were
of it. I
these
thought it was a
released
fun game.
separately or as a
No,
collection?
it was one
One collection.
Okay,
collection.
all right.
As soon as it came out, it was the Die Hard trilogy.
Okay.
And then they made Die Hard Trilogy Part 2,
Oh,
which
no.
has nothing to do with any of the movies. And it's just John McClane in Las Vegas blowing up Las Vegas.
Oh, well, that doesn't sound terrible.
Sounds like someone made a game and they went, you know what this would be really cool as? Die
put
Hard.
Die
Let's put
Hard.
John McClane in
Throw
this.
Die Hard on it.
Well, they
and be
also,
done.
Bruce Willis had that PlayStation 1 game called Apocalypse, where you had to fight the four horsemen of the apocalypse
Oh, yeah.
as Bruce Willis.
Jeez.
What?
Yeah, that
Really?
game was
Yeah.
awesome.
Nope. I don't remember that one at all.
Wow, that's a memory unlocked. I totally forgot
Yeah.
about that game.
Apocalypse was sweet. I haven't played that in forever.
So
Wow.
yeah, I mean, to me, Die Hard with a Vengeance has just always been, a mainstay for me as far as my action movie watching. And whenever we were talking about what to do for December, because we didn't want to keep doing either Christmas themed or even snow themed, even though one we picked this month is snow
Uh-huh.
themed.
Yeah.
But when Nate's like, "Well, we should just keep doing Die Hard and do 3," I'm like, "Okay."
There's no
Twist my
argument here.
arm. Yeah. Twist my arm off. It's
I
totally
needed an
fine.
excuse
I
to
mean,
watch With a
this
Vengeance
is-
once again.
This is
so
a treat.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'll
Die Hard
even,
with a Vengeance is one that I have kind of that runs, it's in any time of the year.
Yeah.
movie,
Oh, yeah.
where
Yeah.
I save the first Die Hard for Christmas. It is definitely a Christmas movie. So
100%.
I only ever watch it around December, and usually when I'm wrapping presents. So
Mm.
I'm, breaking tradition and watching it before Thanksgiving at this point. So because I couldn't just watch 3. I had to been a while since I'd seen it, so I was like, well, we're gonna watch the first one. and then we're gonna watch the third one. We did a movie marathon back to back.
Nice.
Okay,
They're
I love
pretty
that.
tame for rated R movies. I mean,
Yeah.
there's a lot of language.
Language.
There's no nudity, and the gore. It's not really any gore.
There's
in
not
it.
a lot.
I mean, there's dying.
This one has some more gore than the other movies, though. Like
that's
when
okay.
that German chick takes her like bladed knife to that.
That was
dude's throat,
awesome.
and
That was
just
cool.
keeps spinning and cutting him up, and like
Yeah.
the blood spray. Plus, there's some really good classic blood squibs. Like when
What was that?
McClane's in the elevator with those guys and realizes that they're the evil Germans.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh God, it's so awesome.
that's the end of that scene is also the grossest and most graphic
Oh.
is when he shoots Otto in the face and it back blasts
Yeah.
across his face with blood and brain. I was like, there's the blood. There we go. Now we're cooking with
That's
something.
beautiful.
Just like part one, though, this one also shows the progression of John McClane going from relatively clean to just covered in grime, blood, dirt, you name it. Like
Yeah.
he looks completely filthy and miserable by the end of this
Yeah.
movie.
They did manage in this one, and I don't think I'd ever noticed it before because I had not watched the two of them back to back. By the end, not even the end, by 3/4 of the way through the first one, that white wife beater that he's wearing
brown.
is black.
Yeah.
Like I'm just like costume just gave up and decided we're not gonna like try to match the dirty. We're just gonna make it so filthy it doesn't matter. But in the third one, it actually there's still some evidence of it being a white shirt at some point. So
Yeah.
And he's nursing a wicked hangover. And he had a really good hangover till Simon Says came and fucked everything up.
That's right.
I was really enjoying that hangover. What? I loved when he was in the van at the very beginning.
Oh,
and they found him, and he's cross-eyed and drooling out one side of the mouth, and they're giving him Tylenol.
Yeah.
And he's holding out his hand. More.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Keep it coming.
like
Let's
such
take
a
more.
perfect
fistful of
introduction to John McClane, who we haven't seen in a couple years.
It's true.
They
Yeah.
mentioned Holly. You now know they are separated once again. Like it packs a lot
Shocker.
in these first couple minutes with him. And
Yeah.
like the movie opens up with an explosion that feels like a summer blockbuster. Like
and
just
out of
something
nowhere,
about that when it happens, it's like, oh yeah, like Speed
Yeah.
or something.
Well, it's-
the movie
there-
hits the ground running, and it doesn't stop.
Not
It-
at all.
It's when we say like this movie is running at level 10, the whole thing, it is. It only pauses briefly a couple times to do some exposition, like in the van with the FBI agents, and a couple other times where he's looking around going, well, this doesn't feel right. Just barely a few things, but not a second is wasted in this movie from front to back.
Well, the script's awesome. The direction's awesome. They brought John McTiernan back.
Tate
Who did
McTiernan
the
came
first
back.
one.
Funny, it's exciting.
Yeah.
No, it's
Mhm.
this is what I would consider one of the greats. But yeah, like
Yeah.
you said,
Agreed.
to bring back McTiernan, who is just the godfather of action when it comes to this stuff.
What else has he done, Charlie? Remind me.
John McTiernan, he's done stuff like Predator, Last Action Hero, and Die Hard, Die Hard
so
with
he's
Vengeance.
Scorsese of action. He's
Hunt for
He
Red
also did
October.
Medicine Man, which my mom, for some reason, took me to go see in the theaters.
Did you fall
With
asleep for
Sean
that one?
Connery. Medicine
Yeah.
Man?
I don't think I think I was just bored out of my mind.
I've
that
never heard of that one.
yeah, Sean Connery's like the Medicine Man.
Yeah, he's in
Yeah.
the rainforest with Lorraine.
Yeah,
Bracco.
exactly.
Oh
Right.
wait, that does
They,
sound
uh,
familiar.
They
have-
actually have the cure for cancer, but
Is that what that movie's about? I've never watched it since.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of Sean Connery, he was supposed to be the Jeremy Irons part.
Ooh,
Really?
One of the
that would have
little
been cool.
Oh.
trivia
But-
bits I saw. I wouldn't give up Jeremy Irons for
No,
anyone,
not at
but-
all.
But Sean
I mean,
Connery,
no.
I kind of want to see that movie. That
that's a
might
cool
be-
alternate universe movie.
yeah, I guess that would make then Hans Gruber his little brother, like
Sure.
age-wise, that
Also, he's a completely
Connery?
different national. So he's
right,
adopted.
exactly. I'm
Yeah.
like, so
He's
Connery
adopted.
doesn't do
It's
accents except it's his own.
yeah. Well,
He
that's
does
what I was gonna
Egyptian.
say, Is he going to be?
Egyptian? No.
Is he gonna be German?
Ah,
A Spaniard, Scot, Egyptian.
He does
Yeah.
those
No.
really well.
Yeah.
Oh,
You
okay.
can't hardly tell in Highlander that he's a Spanish Egyptian Scotsman
Oh,
with another Scotsman that's French.
Yeah, they played the part perfectly.
It
Yeah.
tracks. Totally
Yeah.
tracks.
No, I think that Jeremy Irons was the perfect.
Jeremy
Okay.
Irons is
choice
great. I
for
was
this, for
trying
sure.
to think if like this was maybe in like one of the first times I had seen Jeremy Irons. I can't remember the first time I watched Man in the Iron Mask with DiCaprio. Jeremy Irons is in that
I
one.
think that comes out after this movie. So
that sounds right.
So it's
DiCaprio
Yeah.
been really young
this
in
this might have
95.
been
He was
my
like Romeo and Juliet in 95-ish.
well.
wouldn't he have been?
He's a young character in Man in the Iron Mask too.
Oh,
so
that's fair.
it's-
That's fair.
But
To me,
I
he's
gotta-
Scar. That's what he is to me, forever,
Well,
Yeah,
always.
yeah.
Uh-huh.
As a kid, I didn't give a shit who the voice actor was. As a kid,
No,
It's
none of
just,
us did.
There's a Scar. Okay, I like
Right.
the way this
No,
guy
it's
sounds.
just that was a voice though. Like there was just something about it. And
Mhm.
same thing with this one, like just that voice and how long you don't see that character. It's only through telephone conversation or walkie-talkie.
And I think that's why you need somebody with that type of
Mhm.
Yeah,
commanding voice to it.
Yeah.
And once they drop the little thing that he is a Gruber, it does kind of remind you a little bit of Alan Rickman, his very posh way he talks,
Yep.
his very formal way of doing things. And you're like, okay, I could see that.
That
I-
that resonance is
Yeah.
very English, very stage actory, because they
Mhm.
have to train their voices to do that so they can project without
just like
microphones. and
Gruber.
Right.
yeah, exactly. Just like Alan Rickman. Yes.
Yeah, so this one is not one of those like, oh, of course it's this twin brother or something, and you see in some movies. This one actually worked really good for that twist.
And
when
Yeah.
you're trying to
as
figure
a
out who the
kid-
hell he is.
blew my goddamn mind that he had a brother.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, as a kid, oh my god, dude. Hans Gruber has a brother and he's trying to get revenge.
Darth
It
Vader's
makes
my
so
father?
much sense.
And they do the flashback to freaking Gruber falling off the building
sure
all of a
do.
sudden,
Yep.
with McClane remembering it. So
Yep.
you're just like, oh shit, this is. I mean,
It's personal
I agree with
now.
Nate. Yeah, no, it makes so much more sense. I mean, it you find as the movie goes, good Lord, I've seen this movie I don't know how many times, but everything Jeremy Irons does is part of the final plan. And the more you watch this movie, you realize the more and more you're like, oh yeah, so there's no way they would have not set the bomb off in the subway. That was
Right.
part of the plan
Always going to happen.
that had to
Right.
go off. The fact that McClane saved a bunch of people,
Mhm.
just good for him, but Jeremy Irons still got what he wanted and he still blew that up. But all the other stuff that doesn't matter was just fucking with him the entire time.
Yeah, I
in
mean,
the-
it's
in the
literally
park and
The game.
Yeah, even
Yeah.
his thugs were saying, "Knock it off! Just get. I have a gun in my room. I'm going.
Yeah,
I will
yeah, they
shoot
did
him
the same exact
into the
thing.
head."
Mhm.
They even had a
Tor-
chance to kill Zeus and didn't take that opportunity. They're like, no, let him
Well,
pass.
that was kind of interesting. How like they didn't want to really kill kids, and at the very
not a
end,
monster.
He didn't. He's right.
well, they didn't really want to kill anyone.
Anybody.
They're knocking people out,
yeah,
and Otto gets yelled at because he shoots the one cop.
correct.
And so you're like, well, shit, like, did they actually really kill anyone? I'm sure some people probably got hurt and or killed in some of the explosions,
Right.
but they never, it felt a lot like a Gruber heist.
Yeah.
Like, Hans
Smart.
was not like out to kill every one of the
I
hostages.
just want money or bonds or whatever.
He
it was.
Right.
would have blown up the top of the building, with them up there, but it wasn't the plan throughout the whole movie.
Mhm.
And
Right.
it definitely feels that way in A Vengeance. Like you kind of get that bloodline almost, it's like they have a shtick to them.
Well,
And I'm
also,
following it. I'm liking it.
this movie, I gotta say, maybe for the first hour, its action isn't your standard action. It's a lot of
No.
thriller. It's adrenaline going. It's
It's a
them
cat
running
and mouse
around
at the
town
States. Yeah.
trying to
Mhm.
defuse these bombs, and it's not run and gun,
It's
bang, bang,
fetch
bang.
quests in RPGs.
And it takes a while for McClane to actually kill someone too. But like, for whatever reason, none of that bothers me in this movie because it just is so damn intriguing as its story is progressing. And like, I still do not understand the bomb in the water park that needs 4 gallons. I don't know how you solve that riddle.
So you fill up the 5
Okay,
all
all right.
the way up.
The
Okay.
three.
Uh-huh.
You with me?
Yep.
So you take the 5, you pour it into the 3, which leaves 2 gallons in
the 5.
In the 5. Okay. Then you take, what is it? You have to fill in.
It has to be 4 gallons exactly.
Exactly.
I knew how to do this, and now that I'm having to say it out loud,
It's
I'm trying to
hard
remember the way
because
to go.
even when they're explaining it, plus also it doesn't help they're yelling at each other. The whole dialogue in this movie is just Bruce Willis and Samuel just yelling at each other back and forth. So when they do solve the riddle, I'm like, oh, I'm dead. I'm so dead.
I feel like they don't ever actually really give the answer to that one away in that one, because it's like they've got, one of them's got a jug with some water in it and the other one's got a jug with some water in it, and they say something about having a gallon of air, and it's like, how the hell do you have a gallon of air? And then they're like, right, so then you do this and then you do this and that's exactly 4 gallons, and
then
they just start
start
shouting
cheering.
and set it down, and I'm like, you didn't actually really solve that problem on, you know.
They have another one they solve too, where it's like, it's a trick question, and then they go back and forth.
Oh,
I'm like,
that's the
Oh, yeah.
man
That's-
of knives.
That's a
the-
riddle, though. That's
Yeah,
a-
the St. Ives one.
I'm not good at riddles. All right.
I got it here for you, Nate. Here's how you
Okay,
solve
okay.
the riddle. You fill the 5-gallon jug. Okay.
Done.
Empty 3 gallons of that into the 3-gallon jug. Okay.
Done.
Empty the 3-gallon jug now. Now dump that one out. Pour the remaining 2 gallons that is left in the 5 into the 3-gallon jug. So now there's 2 gallons in the 3-gallon jug.
And a gallon of air.
Fill
Yep.
Fill the 5-gallon jug
all the way to the top.
all the way to the top. Then pour 1 gallon out of that into the 3-gallon that only had 2 in it. So it would only take 1. So now there's 4 gallons in the 5-gallon. He is lost.
Yeah,
He is
man.
crushed.
Like I'm
He
right
is-
back onto like it's got 3 gallons.
No, the 3-gallon. That's what's throwing you off. The 3-gallon only has 2 gallons in it.
Right.
Because you poured the leftover from the 5 into it.
Right.
This is me. This is Bruce Willis and Sam Jackson arguing during the movie right now.
You're not yelling or swearing enough at each other, though, so you need to fix that right
Let's
now.
just start
Listen here,
over. Let's
motherfucker.
start
I don't
over.
fucking understand this. Dude, these 2 fucking jugs don't make any fucking
go.
sense.
You go get that bomb so no,
No,
kid
you know what?
finds
Don't
it.
spill a
You
goddamn
go
fucking
get it.
thing in this.
No. It's an elephant, man. Always ready to travel.
Always
It's
ready
got
to
a
travel.
trunk.
That's right.
I understood that riddle. That one worked.
Yeah.
No.
Anyway, you
like
can
when
answer
Frodo
that
was
riddle.
making all those riddles with Gollum, not happening.
That was Bilbo. Not
That
Frodo.
was Bilbo. You're absolutely right.
I know I was right.
Those
I said it.
Bagginses.
This is Baggins.
And their stupid riddles.
Trixie Baggins.
Yeah.
See,
Hey, Did you guys watch this streaming on Hulu or anything like that? Like I did?
Yeah, I watched on Hulu. The sound was terrible for some reason.
I
It
didn't
felt real
notice
quiet.
anything- I didn't notice anything with the sound, but at the opening of this movie, I went, "Oh shit! Is this one going to be edited like
Oh, no.
television when he goes into Harlem?"
With the sign.
Oh,
They changed the sign.
That was a
Yeah.
very cool trivia thing. Did you read that?
I've known
It was
about it,
blank,
that-
yeah.
It was
Yeah.
always blank, and they CG'd it in for the movie because they didn't want
Oh,
to actually kill Bruce Willis because they were in Harlem.
Yeah,
It's really good CG.
I
Yeah.
It's
always
good
thought it
now.
was
Tell.
wrote on there.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
The last couple times I saw this movie when it was on TV, they just blur
Yeah,
over
sure. Yep.
that. And so I, of course, had forgotten that that's what it said. And we were watching it with Millie, and I went, "Ooh, this isn't going to age well." And she was like, "What do you mean?" I go, "Just wait. When you see what that
you'll
sign
see."
says, you'll see. You'll be prepared to be shocked and offended." And
good.
as soon as he turned around, she was like, "Oh!" She could not believe it. She's like, "That is terrible." I was
Well,
like,
Yeah.
But that's
technically
exactly what a
that-
villain would do.
well, and that's
Oh,
what I
yeah.
told her. I was like, "That's the point: is that
Uh-huh.
they're trying to get him killed,
Ruin
And
him right
she
out
was
the
like-
gate.
Yeah, she was like, "Well, that'll do it."
Yeah.
Like,
I have to be like, did Jeremy Irons really want to keep fucking with him the entire movie, or did he try to off him in the very
Like
first
right out the
scene?
know.
gate. And then once he survived, because Uncle, there's a white guy out the side. I've
Yeah,
seen one.
He got saved by Hazy.
I like this.
It was Jesus, that Mexican guy. Why do you keep calling me Jesus? Do I look
loved-
Puerto Rican?
I love that. Do I look Puerto Rican?
Mount Olympus, shove a lightning bolt up your ass.
Zeus
Zeus.
was sincerely trying. It's like, is that not your name? I don't understand.
Yeah.
He said,
Well, I mean,
Hey,
it's going to be
Zeus.
hard for Zeus to come from the point of view, even once he is told, I'm a cop. I'm being told that I have to do this. I mean, he's not want to trust him to begin with because he's a
Mhm.
white New York City
for
cop.
sure.
Like there's always that, and then there's got to be that level of like, yeah, but you said okay, like you were okay to do this. I get it, your hands are tied, but how tied are they really? And so
I think bomb tied is a very real hands tied situation.
sure, but that's if you're fully believing from Zeus's point of view.
But he also
at
makes
least
a
until
good
they
point.
get picked up by the cops and taken down, then it's like, okay, all
Because when
right, this
McClane
is
asked him,
real.
they're like, hey, there's got to be some part of you that cares. He goes, no, like, I just didn't want to get a white cop killed in downtown Harlem because that's
Right.
going to bring in
He
more
ain't
white
wrong.
cops and it's going to become a bigger problem. So,
right.
Yeah, I love. Many times I watched this, it took a little bit before I realized the homage in the beginning during that scene.
the gun on the
is he has
back.
a gun taped.
Once
to his
again,
back.
the best duct tape known to man because that's a very
Right?
sweaty Bruce Willie right out the
I have
gate.
never seen duct tape stick that well.
Yeah.
It was either Christmas packing tape from part one that stuck to blood and sweat
That's not
and
happening.
dirt and glass. And then this one was just a hungover, sweaty, silver duct
You
tape.
know, the alcohol sweats.
The old alcohol.
The
sweat.
old alcohol sweats. You got
Pete
to
knows
sweat it
those
out.
really well.
It's a real thing. Yeah.
Yeah, they probably dried him off real good in the van before they taped it on, and then just hoped
Even
would
drying it
stay.
off, they're like, Jesus Christ, dude, this towel's nothing but yeast.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm going to say it. Ew. That's just.
Have you been
Yeah.
drinking?
It's not
No, I'm
pleasant.
just sweating the vodka out of my pores. It's
Oh, man.
a very real thing.
But and it's that moment. It now is when the movie never slows down.
No.
Never. Once they get in that cab and they're running all the lights and getting to the police station.
Oh,
for
what a
the-
great, what a beautifully choreographed car. It wasn't really a chase. It was like
It's not a, yeah, exactly, but
What do
it's
you call
great
it?
car stunt work of them like
Mhm.
driving
car food.
through
That's
the
what
park.
it is.
Oh,
yeah,
We're
they're
back
going
in
to the
Ninja
park?
November. It's
Yeah,
car
yeah.
food.
car food.
No.
I like it.
Going against traffic onto the sidewalk, doing all this.
Calling the
Number one,
ambulance and saying,
that was
two
brilliant.
police officers are down and using that as like their own guiding light to get to where
Yeah.
they need to.
Something to clear the path to follow.
Dude, I don't get anxious in movies much, but I just been like, I don't ever want to drive in New York. Ever.
No.
Yeah, not at
Just-
I
all.
don't know
just
how
looking
anybody
at that.
gets anywhere or anything gets done.
No.
Yeah.
It just looks impossible. And
I have no
the
idea
fact
how you're
that they
supposed to
all
visit.
know, like if you're from there, you're like, oh, don't take this road right now. It's this, or don't go up this way. It's
Yeah,
you
the
can't
fact they're
get
like,
there
oh, that's on
from here."
112th. I'm like, if you were to ask me where like 5th Street is or 5th Avenue in Columbus,
You should really know where that is.
It
Nate.
runs
Yeah,
across.
that's a pretty good one.
Yeah.
buddy.
That one.
It's
that
like,
No.
hey, where's High Street? I don't
Where's-
know.
no, where's
Nah.
Lily,
Riverside Drive. Ah.
where's Lily Avenue?
where's the
Nate? That's
Jippus? I need the Jippus.
The Jippus. Nate uses Jippus just to get to the gas station on the
Oh.
corner and then go back home.
I'll tell you right now, it took
Surprise
me
me.
years to figure out that United Dairy Farmers sold malts. I had no idea.
It's on
It's
the
UDF.
fucking
It's
sign.
dairy, you weirdo.
It's not like I go inside gas stations. Why would I need
No,
to go
the
inside a
sign
gas
is
station?
on the outside of the
Why would I
building.
read
Now
that?
you-
I don't
Not-
read
hold
your,
on, hold
what you're
on.
trying to sell me.
In Nate's defense, most of them don't say United Dairy Farmers on them anymore.
Yeah,
Most
they
of
say
them just
UDF.
say UDF.
And
Oh.
I didn't know that even the dairy farm, like, okay, whatever. And then I found out they have these amazing malts,
Yes.
delicious
pretty
ice
good.
cream.
Yeah,
Yes,
but
it
malt-
is.
the words
Beef
delicious
cows?
ice cream and gas station never go together.
Nate,
It's true.
don't eat ice cream.
yeah. Well, it's malt. I bet it doesn't affect him as bad.
No, they
as
have a
the
but.
regular
Yeah,
malt.
I mean,
Bullshit.
I'll go get a malt right now.
Please
He
don't.
would do it. He
Yeah.
would do it.
I'll try to. I'll DoorDash
I'm
one.
gonna drink this.
It's
gonna
on
drink
the
this.
sign outside. It says Sundays malts, milkshakes.
You
Like, I
know
don't understand
how,
you
like,
never saw
And
that.
They Live, they had to put on the glasses to see everything. I don't. All right. I don't need the glasses because I know that you're just trying to sell me shit. So I don't give a fuck.
Consume.
I know you're colorblind,
Obey.
but the words are still there.
Word
sir.
blind as
I know-
well.
Word blind.
You're
as
word
well.
blind and color blind.
Yep.
All
Interesting.
right. Well, that's enough. I think it's time for a commercial.
You want a war? Well, you got it right after this.
Sharks of the Corn? Virus Shark? Cocaine Shark? Sharktopus? Yeah, those are all real movies. Join me, Steve Coates, as each week I take a comedic look at the bizarre world of sharksploitation cinema on Bucket of Chum, the Shark Movie Podcast.
Just how drunk are we gonna get?
Welcome to Good Beer, Bad Movie Night, where each month we drink finely crafted brews while watching terrible films in order to see just how drunk you have to get to enjoy them. So tune in and join Troy,
Kilroy Kreitz.
oh, that was pretty good,
Thank you.
Dave,
I have the weirdest boner.
and Pete. IPAs are ales, meaning they are bottom fermented. Excuse me, they are top fermented. I f***ed that up. Try that again. As we drag Kathleen,
Hear me.
kicking and screaming through an alcohol-fueled podcast dedicated to movies of questionable quality and the frosty adult beverages that help make them tolerable. Good Beer, Bad Movie Night. Clearly, it's the beer's fault.
I didn't come here to talk. Lucky for you, they did.
For those that don't know, that's the first time Kathleen's heard the ad to her own show.
You're doing really good at podcasting.
Why would I listen to my own commercial? I'm there already. That's silly.
She's like, I don't even remember recording this. I'm like, did they just grab your
You didn't.
audio?
I pulled clips.
I was going to say those are random clips. I remember saying "beer me," so
I had the whole clip. What the whole commercial was around that beer me. It was like, oh, I got to do something with this.
Oh.
Like I want to redo it and redo Dave's. There's way better things with Dave's intro.
With just Dave.
Yeah, just Dave being Dave. All right, back to Die Hard.
Yeah, so Jody and I were watching this last night, and we saw Die Hard Another Date. What was number 4?
Live Free or Die.
Die Hard.
Thank you.
is
We
number
the
4.
two of us saw that in the theater, and we both enjoyed it. I don't. You're telling me it's not that good, but I don't know. We liked it. You threw a car at a helicopter. Uh-oh.
Never mind that. You're fine.
Oh,
is that the sound of
that was a false
disagreement?
alarm.
Like,
That's
There's
usually
a fly dancing on
Pete
my
said
keyboard.
something or
and I
Nate's
tried
going
to
off.
Smack it, and it hit the technical difficulty.
Oh, so you try to Mr. Miyagi it with your sausage fingers and you didn't get it.
yeah. I don't mind Live Free or Die Hard. Justin Long is a very sad replacement for Sam Jackson. Like
Agreed.
and I like Justin Long, but it was like we kind of went from like, Nick
Top
Fury
tier.
to, Ant-Man. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you went with the A
Paul
grade,
Rudd.
then all the way to D grade.
Yeah. So, I mean, it made sense because they needed somebody who was
He was young. He's hot.
I'm super clever. Hot.
He'll-
but I
he'll
am
sell
super
tickets.
clever. I'm super smart, and I'm kind of whiny and annoying, and I'm gonna do
Mhm.
good girl panic screams kind of thing. But I don't know. It's the rest of the story is a little bit just kind of. It just feels like a ripoff of not the first movie, but of Die Hard with a Vengeance.
That's fair.
So it's like the Roger Corman version of their own movie. So
Well, you gotta think. I mean, they hit lightning in a bottle with part 1. I mean, now that it's considered its own specific genre, like other movies are doing a Die Hard. That's what you hear a lot. Part 2 was, I will admit, is also one of those things like, did we really need this? But I do like putting Die Hard on a plane.
Well,
kind of.
2 is just it just so happens to happen again to him on Christmas. A lot of weird coincidences where at least this one feels unique.
But it also makes
Because it's
sense where the brother is getting revenge, but
Yeah,
he's
the
exactly.
revenge plot.
a thief
That-
as well. Yeah.
This one works good, but Die Another Day or Die Hard or whatever it is, Live Free, Die Hard was, well, now what does McClane do?
Yeah,
well, let's
because,
send him
like,
on
now
this. And now everyone's like, wait, that guy from Nakatomi, that whole thing, who is this guy? And he's even more down on his luck, and he's even more pissed off at the world.
It works
I
better
kinda-
with this one because they even mention the LA thing, and Samuel L. Jackson's like, "What, you famous or something?" He goes, "Yeah, for like 5 minutes." Like,
yeah,
Right.
that's
And
how.
It's been so many years.
Yeah,
since
that
everything
it's not a
happened.
big deal anymore.
Right. Which is why he doesn't recognize the European accented voice right away as being like, he doesn't make that connection.
Yeah, he's done other
No.
cases
You know?
since then. Like,
Right.
well,
He's been
he's
suspended and
he's
fired a
tired.
dozen
He's like,
times.
I don't, because he was supposed to be out in L.A. with Holly being a cop out there. So obviously with this one is that didn't work out. So he went back to New York, and now he's a cop out there. I get it for the movie. It just sucks that, they've ended part 1 with reconciliation between him and Holly. Part 2, he basically saves her life again at the end of that one by getting the plane to land. And, okay, you don't feel like there's a problem with the marriage in part 2. Then part 3 happens, and it's like, what happened? Where's Holly? What's going on? And it could be that, I forget what her name is, Bedelia. I forget what her first name
Bonnie
is.
Bedelia.
Bonnie Bedelia. She may just didn't want to come in for this movie, and they had to figure out some
and
way.
maybe because at this point you're talking about like a third Die Hard movie. By all means, shouldn't work. Like, oh God, what else is
True.
he getting into now? And that
Right.
really proves its own point with like the 5th one, the 4th and 5th
that's
one.
kind of where I was going. Like somehow the third one caught a second strike of lightning in a
Agreed.
bottle.
Yeah.
And it works really well because you had great writers. You brought McTiernan back. You had all the right ingredients, and it worked. And then you try to do 2 more, and you're like, okay, just stop.
Yeah.
And then the 6th one, and I'm going to talk about this. The 6th Die Hard that pissed me off was when they thought they were giving us another Die Hard movie, and we got a goddamn Die Hard battery commercial like 2 years ago.
Oh,
They
I was like, there's no 6th Die
they
Hard
played-
movie.
trailers. They brought the dude back from the van in the first one, and
That's
they were
true.
making this
And it was
huge
all for those
deal,
damn batteries.
all for a Christmas Die Hard battery commercial. Pissed
Wow.
me off.
I missed all of that.
Yeah,
I
it's
did too.
bullshit.
That 5th one, that's Die Another Day or something. I looked it up. It came out in 2022, and so it's
Ugh.
one of the last movies that Bruce would have done before
Mhm.
he stepped away. And
Yeah.
there are people talking about how for maybe the previous like 3-4 years before he stepped away, the speech apraxia that he was dealing with was so obvious on set, and like it was painful for people to watch him struggle through things. And I was telling Troy, I was like, I don't mind the 4th one, but as far as I'm concerned, that 5th movie doesn't exist because I'm
Mhm.
not watching him suffer. Like
No,
I'm not
yeah.
watching he's you talk about lightning in a bottle, he's just perfectly encapsulated in like the snow globe of this is what I want it to be. And
Yeah.
so
Hell, you
yeah,
could ask for a
and-
whole. There's not much better than having your legacy being Die Hard. You know what I mean?
right,
It's just-
exactly.
Well, it's not even
and I mean,
that,
he's
but
got
there's
some other
fine.
fantastic
Armageddon
movies.
you
Don't
get
get me
in
wrong,
there,
yeah.
Whoa, whoa,
Stop
whoa,
that.
whoa. Now we have to talk about Armageddon here for a second,
Do we?
because Armageddon, while there is no such thing as a bad Bruce Willis movie,
Mhm.
no, there is gradations of great to okay. Like the bottom is okay. But Armageddon, I fucking hate that movie because you do not save Ben Affleck and kill Bruce Willis.
But it was
I don't
for
care.
his daughter.
No. If he really loved his daughter, he would know that Ben Affleck is a piece of shit and should not be with her anyway. And so he should have been like, I'm sorry, honey, there are more fish in the sea and better ones than this one. So he's staying behind and pushing the fucking button to save the rest of the planet for the better person that you're going to be with.
Well, we all know the
You
person.
don't kill Bruce Willis for Ben Affleck.
It should have been Steve Buscemi. That should have been the one.
Say, they should have let
No
the man
way,
do
you
that
saved Steve too. What are you talking about?
He wanted
Steve
to go.
is great.
He's like, I'll stay. I'll push the button. I'm totally okay. You
Which
let
is
Steve
why
Buscemi
he's
do it.
great and should live. Ben Affleck should be the person who has to say that.
I can't wait to bring Kathleen back for when we do Armageddon next year.
Yeah.
I hate Ben Affleck.
The villain is a rock, not the rock.
Villain
Yeah.
A rock.
Ben Affleck.
The villain is Ben Affleck. Affleck was the bomb in Phantoms, yo. But
Okay.
Phantom's like a motherfucker.
One of the fun things that Jody and I were talking about is that she turns to me toward the end of the movie and says, wouldn't this be interesting if this was a heist movie from Jeremy Irons' perspective?
All
Like,
of all
so-
the things going wrong because of this fuckhead of a cop.
Oh,
No, no, like make the bad guys the good guys. Like, so the heist, you know how you watch a good heist movie, you're rooting for the thieves.
Yeah.
right?
like an Ocean's 11 type
Right,
thing.
exactly.
Okay.
So turn it on its head a little bit and ignore the fact that Bruce Willis is the hero. Let's put another John McClane in there, somebody who isn't Bruce Willis,
Jack
and make him
Courtney.
kind of a corrupt cop
Don't
and
you
kind of an
even.
asshole. And- no, just hear me out.
No. I was telling, don't you even to Charlie.
Oh,
I
but
said
then
Jack
but then make Jeremy Irons like this Robin Hood of sorts, because he does that whole team, as we've already discussed, has some morals. Like they don't want to kill kids, and they let Sam Jackson go away when they easily could have murdered him. There's some morality there, and if you would just lean into that a little bit, and like, okay, this cop killed my brother. Let's ignore that the brother was a terrorist and a thief also.
Yeah,
Ignore
let's
that.
just ignore that.
there's a lot of ignoring we're having to do. For
Yeah.
this movie.
But no, but half what we're rooting for the villains again, like just like Kathleen said, an Ocean's 11 sort of thing. So we're rooting for the bad guys to steal money from the good people ? And Ocean's 11 was stealing from gamblers and the mafia and all sorts of awful things.
I like this
So-
idea.
Yeah,
I do.
so this would be like, oh God, I can't remember, what was that? It's a famous hotel in New York that was robbed in the early 70s, and I can't
Trump
remember
Tower.
what it was. What's that?
Trump Tower.
No.
Oh.
No, this was back in the day, like Audrey Hepburn days. The
Like the Waldorf Astoria.
something like
or-
that. It was one of those giant hotels, and it was robbed by these people, and they had like a safety deposit vault in the basement, and they got robbed. And a lot of people just went, "Oh no, I didn't have anything in there," because there was evidence in there of shit that they've been doing, probably drugs and pictures and other things.
Right.
So a lot of people did not step forward to claim their insurance.
things.
Right, because it was like, oh, that's embarrassing.
They didn't want them to look too hard for that
Right,
stuff.
right. And they were all very famous, very wealthy people, everything from the Kennedys to the, I don't know. I just saw a documentary on it. It was fascinating. So that's where Jody was going. Like, let's root for the thieves. Let's make them the anti-heroes and make the John McClane character the bad guy, kind of, sort of.
Well,
It would be interesting. You wouldn't be able to let them steal from the
Federal Reserve. Agreed.
Federal Reserve because
I
that
agree.
tanks the economy of everybody, and it
100%
they'd
I
have
agree.
they'd have to steal from something else.
The
but
Declaration of Independence.
they call up Nick Cage and see what he's doing.
The Declaration of Independence.
Yeah.
because that's what's kept in New York. The
Yeah.
Declaration
The
is what's in
yeah,
DC.
the Declaration.
Decor your independence.
Do they keep that in the
DIY
basement of
it.
the Alamo? I think that's where they keep it.
No, in the basement of the
basement of the
Alamo
Alamo.
Yeah.
is where they have like a jail cell for Ozzy Osbourne in case he pees on it again.
Okay.
Because you're
That's
not
it, man.
allowed to do it.
Pee Wee Herman's bike is.
I
What are you
yes.
talking
Yeah.
about?
Yes,
That is
I
true.
I understand that was. Anyway,
So,
Jody
I'm
posed that
totally
question to
lost.
me, and I'm like, I am down to see that movie. Let's
Well,
get this.
the thing is, those movies exist. You just said there's Ocean's 11. There's
okay.
Catch Me If You Can. There's, plenty of heist type movies. If you get that movie, that means I don't get Die Hard 3, and I'm not willing to give up Die Hard.
I don't want to
3.
live in a
Okay,
world
we
without
have
Die
that.
Hard 3. I don't want
Right.
that world.
That's a cold, dark place, man, and I don't,
I don't
wanna live
like
in
it
that
at all.
world.
We even get like the nicest
Scary.
construction
Scary.
worker ever in this movie who
Oh
happens
my
to know
gosh.
the history of everything.
This is
I
Ralph,
love
or what was his name?
Jerry.
Jerry.
Yeah.
Jerry, yeah.
Jerry's awesome. He's like, he knows who, the presidents
Are you a truck driver? No, I'm a goddamn ballerina.
Yeah.
I'm a beautician. No, I'm a
A beautician.
beautician.
I'm sorry, beautician.
Worried that a gun's going to be pointed at his face, and he still
As
has a
he
smart
should.
ass
Well,
comment.
because he's still from New York.
That's
knows
a
how
very
to
good
about
point.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's how it works,
Forget
right?
about it.
Yeah.
No, I like that. There's just so much that happens in this movie. It's like
It's a thick plot. Like
Yeah.
it is.
there is
It's
so
a left and
much
a right
going
and a
on.
left and a right, and you have a hard time keeping up if you
Yeah.
don't watch it multiple times.
Well, and even to the fact that the actual bad guy of Simon Gruber is also the bad guy to his own people, because he's the big twist of he's
Mhm.
blowing up scrap metal and not all of the gold, and so his number one guy, and
Morgan,
everybody
whatever his name
seemingly
was.
who's not everybody, but the good portion of them that are a part of this, are, being tricked, being lied to. The people who are in it for the morality, air quotes,
Right.
of destroying world economy, because, God knows that. would
That'll fix
definitely
everything.
Well,
Mhm.
it even
Just,
again,
in the next 4 years, something might like that might happen. I don't know. I'm just speculating here.
No, 2 years till the midterm elections. Fingers
we
crossed.
are not political here.
Well,
Stop
I'm
it.
just
We
saying,
are,
within
we
4
are
years-
escapists.
All I know is that the word tariff has been increased in its search history on Google. Almost like people should do homework beforehand. I don't know. That's all I'm saying. That's nothing
Nate,
political there.
Go figure out how to put 4 gallons in a 5-gallon jug real quick.
That's the other problem, though.
We did that.
I
But
didn't. I blew
He
up.
didn't. That's as
You
Yeah.
blew it up.
I'm giving him busy work. But like Kathleen was talking about, you have basically this guy that is undermining his own man. When you watch this multiple times, you also realize that Torgo, whatever this guy's name was, Targo or whatever, he had like his own little core group of guys because Otto was one of
Otto
Torgo's
was one of
guys.
those, yeah.
But the vast majority were Jeremy Irons guys because
Right.
there was a small group that thought they were going to blow up the ship,
Mhm.
let the gold sink, which is still kind of a stupid plot because guess what? Gold doesn't disappear. They're going to go down and get it.
Yeah, I know. It's like all you did was
It'll-
create a very.
It'll take 100 years though to get all that
You
up.
create
there 'cause it's so
inconvenience.
heavy.
No, it was all gold bullion. Literally a couple dredges, you might miss 1 or 2 bars. It's
You
not going to
get-
blow up into little tiny
It's a-
pieces.
Oh, true. It's not going to blow up into little tiny pieces.
Yeah.
No, they're going,
It's
and it's
not at all.
and
It's
it's
gonna get
concentrated in one spot.
And if it
Right.
deals
So-
with water, James Cameron, friend, he will solve it.
Look, I watch a lot of that Alaskan gold mining stuff. Those motherfuckers will find, they find the tiniest pieces of gold, Pete. They will find all of the gold that gets blown up. But
Yeah, but
Jeremy
those tiny
Irons'
pieces don't weigh
crew,
nothing. Those gold bullions weigh
it's-
like 30 pounds a bar
yeah,
or something.
but see, gold has a higher mass than the water and most of the dirt around, which is why you're able to find gold easily, is because it's heavier than most things. It has
I
a
love
higher-
All that
gold.
silt.
Oh, you just pan it, man. You got 20. You got a
pan
whole
it.
new.
You have this
You got a
giant-
whole new gold rush.
Yeah,
after
you
they
get
blow
a
up the
bunch of
ship.
old timey prospects are coming out of the woodworks with their
There's gold in
shovels.
that there
There's
harbor.
gold in that river.
to the shores of New York. Like, I mean, because they're going out into like the bay and then out into the ocean. So
Yeah,
you're not really going to be panning much. It's definitely going to be dredging and pulling up kind of thing.
You gotta dredge it, but you pan it after you get all the dirt, and then you're like, then you pan
There's
it
a
up.
bar, dude.
Right.
I watch a lot of. I'm an expert.
Sure.
Do the Alaskans ever find just bars in the woods?
I don't think
Like, does gold just naturally come in bars?
No, I don't think
Nuggets.
Nugs. Okay.
Nuggets.
But we're talking about stuff that's already been collected by
And
the Alaskans
barred.
and then barred into
Yeah.
these big giant. I mean, Sam Jackson can barely carry that one that he's
like, this is
you know,
mine.
takes with him. He's like, this is my gold bar. And so,
He throws his back out.
in the concept of that, like exploding, the only gold that they're probably going to lose is whatever is closest to the sustaining fire of the explosion.
Right.
Anything that blows off the boat instantly is just chunking down into
Yeah,
the water.
but if
and staying
gold
in bar shape.
melts, does it turn into like a T1000 that's a gold record?
It doesn't
Instead?
reform on its own. But
Yeah,
you
but
can
like
melt
it'll
it'll
melt like a
solidify into that
T1000.
But I mean, it's a
Good.
boat. Even when it catches on fire and explodes, it will sink and put the fire out.
Right.
So, Pete, it's going to be one big lump of gold in the water. It's a bad plan.
And then that's
on
why you
Targo's
need
part.
Staten Island old timey prospects going, I'm old timey prospecting here.
There's going to be hundreds of old timey prospects with scuba gear on and a pickaxe and a
Oh my
Yep.
God.
diving to the
Giant
bottom.
With the
beard
beard
outside
underneath.
the
Yeah.
scuba. Yes.
Yeah,
It'll be
yeah.
like outside of the scuba.
Again,
be
watch
hilarious.
Discovery Channel, watch Bering Sea Gold, watch Gold Rush. You'll understand all of this stuff. This is
Oh.
this is so easy for me, and that's
I'm
why
going now to
Jeremy
watch all
Irons
those things.
Jeremy Iron literally puts iron in the ship to blow up, and he fucks with Targo because he's like,
why
I'm
he's
gonna
the
go buy a
second best
country.
Die Hard villain.
That's right.
You know,
Honestly, what they should have
Well,
done
I mean,
for
all
the
those
fourth
bearer
movie.
bonds at the end of the first movie are just flying through the air at the Nakatomi Tower too.
there's
Yeah,
some
that's true.
person out there going, "What the hell do I do with this?"
You
That has to
can't
be
do
like
anything with it. It's,
right.
It's
Isn't
recorded.
that like
if you pick it up and walk into
traceable?
a bank with
Yes.
it, they're going to go, "That's not yours."
Right.
I
Now-
found it though.
Gruber was going to take it to like a Swiss bank or something, and I'm sure there was ways
And
that
that's
he
the
could
thing.
do it.
What's the deal with the Swiss banks that just don't care about anything? They let any money whatsoever go through them. They're like,
It's
no
'cause
questions.
It's not regulated. You
Right.
know, they're
Same
not.
thing with the Caribbean. There are
So-
places down there too.
Oh,
If
I've
our
been to
judge-
Grand
if our
Cayman. That's
Justice
some dirty
system
shit down
sends
there,
them
man.
like a warrant saying, "Hey, we need to see this person's account." They can go, "Fuck you, you can't."
Nope.
That's the Swiss banks. You know, it's
Yeah.
you can hide it there. So
Oh,
it's
the
like
Swiss
the-
banks.
the Cayman Islands and all. That
To
stuff.
one
That's
day
how
be
you move
rich
money
enough
around.
to be like, no. Transfer my Bitcoin to the Swiss.
Lord.
I just want to
Oh, my
open one and
Bitcoin.
have like $10 in it, just to say I have a Swiss account.
Exactly. It's
Oh,
in my
that's
Swiss
cool.
account.
Swiss
That's a
account.
great idea. That's
See?
your,
We should
that's
all
your
get
Christmas
Swiss
presents
accounts.
this year.
Yeah,
Everybody
that's
gets
it.
$10 in a Swiss bank account.
I'm going to guess that the minimums are going to be way more than $10.
Ah,
the annual
you don't
fee
know.
to have it.
Look it up
No,
right
no.
now.
If I have enough money in there, that they waive the annual fee because they're like, oh, you are
Sure.
very, very good,
Nate.
top tier customer.
Nate, do you really have that much money to waive annual
I am for a Swiss banker to be like,
Okay.
Mr. Nate, here is
Okay.
your money.
That's not Swiss.
That's
That
exactly
sounded
what
very
Swiss
Dutch.
people sound like.
That was Dutch, sir,
No.
and
Ah,
racist at the same
You got
time.
some gold
God.
coins, do you? Here's your gold bars.
That could be
Yeah.
Swedish. I'm not
Yeah, I
100%
was gonna
sure.
say, you sound more like the guy from Frozen that sells
Sound like
Anna
the Swedish
winter
chef.
clothes.
Fork, fork,
I'm a penguin. Wait, no, I'm a snowman from the Frozen.
That's not even the character she's talking about.
I've never
never
seen
even-
the Frozen or the Frozen 2. Frozen harder. Waiting for Frozen 3. Frozen with a vengeance.
I want that movie. Oh,
There will
God.
be a Frozen 3.
Frozen with a vengeance. It was the Frozen's brother.
I love it. I love it. The missing brother from the Arendelle Dynasty.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Do it.
There you go. Yeah, because
Bring it on.
I was going to suggest that the fourth one should have been about like Hans Gruber's kid or something like that, like a long lost kid. We just keep finding different Grubers that want to take out McClane.
There you go.
Or,
See,
you know,
Justin
slowly
Long-
destroying
Justin
the bloodline.
Long could have been a Gruber.
He
and, like,
could have been a
there's
double
twist
agent.
at the very
Yeah.
end. Yeah.
and
The
falls in
twist
love
is
with the McClane
Justin
daughter, so
Long
it's
pulls out a
Romeo
gun.
and Juliet.
Yeah, exactly.
Long lost Gruber.
Well, that's kind of what they tried to do with the McClanes. Oh, look, his daughter is involved. Oh, look, his son is now involved.
Well-
So they were trying to do all that, but they just did it with John McClane.
wanted to
instead of-
Yeah,
Gruber
no, it should have been with the
franchise and-
Grubers because then you could have had part 4 is the first kid, and then part 5 would be the twin brother.
Eventually, we get into the stepsons. And
If it means more good Die Hard movies, yes.
the bastard son of Hans Gruber
Yeah.
from the second family he didn't tell anyone
Well,
about.
and then it gets to be a horror movie if you go like the seventh son of the seventh son, right?
Yeah,
There
exactly.
you go.
Yeah.
That's a lot of sequels to get to.
Then
the
it
seventh
turns
sequel.
into like
fast forward through some of them, I think.
the guy who also happened to work at the Swiss bank that was friends with Hans Gruber, who was upset that his number one client is dead because of McClane.
There you go. We could go Japanese horror, Asian horror, Pete, and have the like ghost
The
of
ghost of-
Nakatomi and of the I can't think of the guy's name, the boss of Bonnie Bedelia's job that takes
Takashi.
the bullet to the face. Yeah.
All right. What if it's the ghost of the German guy that came back to life in the first Die Hard movie that keep beating up Bruce Willis, but now he's forever haunting and tormenting McClane?
How did that guy come back to life? Is that the guy that was hanging by the chain?
He's a really tough German.
He didn't break his neck. He just knocked him unconscious.
Yeah.
I guess, but
Yeah. Carl got down. Carl lives. Carl-
well,
But he's a
somebody
ghost.
else had to get him
Carl
down
lives.
and bring him out.
And then all of a sudden, in part 8, Reginald Vell Johnson comes back, and he's there to help. It's Al, if anybody
There
didn't
you
know.
go.
who
I was gonna say-
I do.
Johnson
I
was.
do.
But then that means
And then
Urkel.
I was just going to
Urkel.
say,
God
then
damn
Steve
it.
Urkel comes out and goes, did I do that?
No. It's Urkel as Stefan because he went into the machine to come out to be a partner with Al.
Okay.
I love how we have not talked about this movie at all.
Oh, we came up with way
Everything
better Die Hard sequels.
adjacent to this movie.
This movie is amazing. I love this movie.
It is amazing, and it's just like I don't want to walk through the movie, but there's just so much cool shit. I do love the subway scene that at the end when it crashes. I feel like they took like an actual subway car
They
and
did- they
swung
kinda
that
did.
motherfucker. It's not a miniature.
No,
It's
I want to say it's a real subway, but I remember seeing back in the day, I don't know, Kathleen, if you remember this, there was a TV special about it. And
It's
it is
HBO
a
behind
full-
the scenes.
It is
with
it's not a
Die Hard.
it's not a real subway, but it's a full sized prop that
Yeah, the car.
right that scrapes through everything, and people are literally running for their lives because this thing
It was out of control, right?
Right. It exploded and started going, and all the stunt people went, "Oh shit!" And they just took off.
You can
out of
you
hell.
can
and,
tell
oh
they're
my God.
stunt people too when you watch it. Like the one girl in the dress that splits a little up too high so she can run real fast.
Uh-huh.
And I love when Sam Jackson's over there with the asshole from the phone, and he's like, "Move, asshole!" as he's trying to save his life. He's like,
Yeah.
I like.
I
that.
even love the cop that points a gun at him, and then the phone starts ringing. He goes, "I have to pick that up.
Oh, that's
so if
straight out
you're
of The
going to
Incredibles.
shoot me right the fuck now."
The same
And
thing
then he
happens in
saves
The
that cop.
Incredibles.
Where's
Where-
my super suit?
Sam
Yeah.
Jackson is Frozo, right? Frozone.
Frozone, yeah.
Yeah, and didn't he have a cop brandish a gun at him or something?
Yeah.
I'm going
He goes,
to drink
"I just
this
need a
water
drink of water."
right now, and then
Oh yeah.
and he freezes. The
It's a
cop,
Die
and the
Hard
cop
with a Vengeance
Heart is no longer beating.
Reference. Yeah.
Yep. I love Incredibles. That's a good.
I'm gonna
movie,
say,
too.
excuse me while I go watch The Incredibles after this.
I'm
Oh,
I'm
it's
with
a
you,
good
Nate.
movie.
I'll always take a reason to watch part 1, and
Absolutely.
Part
Yeah.
2's okay.
part 2 is
It's okay.
it's
Part
good.
2 is
Okay.
fine.
Yeah.
No, it's worth your time. Anyway,
Jack
hey,
Jenkins.
Die Hard.
Yeah. See, again, We went to a totally different movie.
We're having so much
franchise.
fun. That's all that matters.
We're having a
right.
blast. We're
That's
having a
right.
blast.
Well, speaking of this movie specifically, I love the supporting cast in this movie. The main sergeant or whatever, the guy with the mustache and his like boss or whatever. I don't know the actor's name,
Ned.
but when he came on screen, I was like, oh, this guy, he's so good in this, and he's such a good bad guy. Troy's like, what else is he in? And I was like, As the World Turns, the soap opera that I watched. When I was and he was like, oh. I was like, I'm just saying, he's really mean and scary when he wants to be.
Did he have that Ned Flanders mustache and As the
No,
World
he did
Turns?
not,
Oh, okay.
no.
Yeah,
So, yeah.
Jackie was watching this last night. She hadn't watched this in forever, so she was really enjoying it. But the guy that plays the bomb expert,
Oh, he was
guy,
hilarious.
Charlie, yeah.
Charlie.
Look how cool this is.
She's watching. She goes, "Why does he look familiar?" And I kept looking. I was like, "I don't know." I was like, "He does have that face." So I looked it up. So the kids watch a lot of fucking like Disney channels and stuff like that.
Shocking.
And there's a show called Jesse, and he plays the butler Bertram.
Oh, no
And I
shit.
looked at her and I said, "That's Bertram." And she like, holy shit, I see it. Like he's super young comparatively in this movie.
Sure.
Yeah.
And she's like, I can't not watch this movie and not think of Bertram every
I
time I
think-
watch this.
I
now.
love the hero moment he gets in this. Like
Oh,
a
yeah.
lesser
So he
movie would
stays?
not give that to him, but
Yeah.
when they're like evacuating the school with the bomb and they find out there's still kids in the building and he's like, fuck it, I'm staying.
I'm staying.
He does his job. That's
Yeah.
what you're paid and trained to do. And it's,
Which
I don't want to.
once again though,
I mean, sacrificing your life, but wow,
he does
yeah.
what he like he
That's
takes that hero
honorable.
moment
Yes,
and then
down.
you get the plot twist of once he opens
it's
it
corn
up.
syrup.
Yeah. Like
Or if
It's
it's
just-
in Canada, it was maple syrup. I don't know if that's
Right.
true.
Well,
or not.
and you get that whole.
I made that up.
You get that whole discussion between Jeremy Irons and Bruce Willis, where he's like, "Oh, there was no bomb there, was there?" And he goes, "No, of course there wasn't a bomb. What am I, a monster?"
he's just literally
Right,
sending
right.
them on a
Wild
goose chase. Yeah.
Mhm.
Now he was going to kill him at the ball field, like that
Yes,
was
Right.
that
Yeah.
was
that was the
Game
stalker
over.
Ultimate
set
goal
up
is to get that vengeance
Mhm.
and take
Yeah.
him out.
to kill him, to fuck with him, and then kill
it's
him.
twofold. I get
Basically-
it's a win-win. I kill him, I get some gold. Right.
I'll make his life a living hell before he does eventually die.
Mhm. Well, and I think part of the goose chase with Bruce Willis is also to add that level of distraction for
Or the police.
the people.
Oh, for
well,
sure.
yes,
Yeah.
but also for the people that are on Simon's team that he's double crossing.
Mm.
You know, it's just one extra layer of
Mhm.
stuff going on.
Yeah, because
that
Targo
allows
keeps
for
getting
that distraction.
pissed off more and more as
Yep.
it goes,
Mhm.
and it's just another thing to kind of throw Targo off kilter just a
Right.
little bit as it continues on. And
Right.
the
Speaking of
fact that-
Targo,
go ahead, yeah.
I thought Targo was in Beer Fest, Kathleen. One of
Oh,
those.
yeah.
One of those. He's not. It's a different
Yeah.
guy. Completely different guy. But it was a giant German
It's that big build.
square.
Yeah.
That's
huge and
racist,
Square
Pete.
jaw, and I thought it's like, oh, was that dude? No, it wasn't in Beer Fest.
Just because they're
But
big white guys with blonde hair doesn't
they all
mean
look
they're
the same to
German.
me.
You can't be like that, man.
Targo doesn't even have blonde hair.
He doesn't. Yeah, he doesn't even look German in this one. Targo just looks like
Big
some
ugly dude. That's
dorky
German.
guy.
Yeah, that's German.
We
No,
just,
there were
we just lost all
bigger
our German.
German
listeners.
guy. That one that gets in the elevator last,
Dude.
when McClane goes down.
Yeah.
Fucking giant motherfucker.
Bruce Willis is a solid 6 feet tall.
Yeah.
That dude was. He wasn't. Bruce's head wasn't even.
He had to be
touching
like
his shoulder.
6'8". You know
Oh,
what
yeah.
I mean? Like
Oh,
he's
yeah.
up there.
I
But
tried to
it's-
find
it's-
that guy online. I couldn't find him.
It's that look of like Bruce Willis, like all these guys are walking in, but that last
Yeah.
motherfucker walks
That's
in.
the
he
dude
looks
that
up.
ducks going through doorways.
Yes.
I have one friend like that, and it's not you, Charlie. I have one friend.
I have
that
to
is-
duck at your house.
I know you do, but I have one other friend that is another inch or two taller than you, and it's like you're a fucking freak of nature, and I love you.
You
I love
say
you,
that to
Andy.
me all the time, though. Fucking
You said I was the tall friend.
You, Nate. Of all the things you are, Nate, the tall friend is not one of them.
You said.
That's just pillow talk, baby.
It's just pillow talk. Come on, that's just pillow talk, baby. Oh.
I will say, I
Fantastic.
think my only complaint with Die Hard with a Vengeance is the death of Jeremy Irons at the end of it. You don't get
Yeah.
a full-blown fisticuff fight, you know?
Yeah.
I think it's one of those things that they were smart because Bruce Willis would have easily taken out Hans Gruber. Hans Gruber was not a fighter.
Where this guy is a
Jeremy
general.
Irons is a general. He has done this for a long time. I feel like he would have handed McClane his ass. But saying that, I also have to go back to part 2, where he does go up against trained military people. He wins, but it's all because one's on the wing of an airplane. So
it's badass though.
It's badass.
And he is a scrapper. There's one thing I love about McClane is he's a fucking scrapper who doesn't go down. He's like the Energizer Bunny.
But McClane also has the luck angle in almost every movie. He's always got some, like this one was like he shoots the high tension wire. It's not the high tension wire that causes the helicopter to crash. It's her dodging it and hitting the telephone pole next to it and taking out the blades. So McClane he caused the Rube
But he got
Goldberg
lucky.
effect. He got lucky.
But I also I love the idea of him shooting that. It's just one of those, like, when you get to the tail end of this movie, those last like final 5 to 10 minutes really just they happen. And it's like, oh no. But I'm also like, but I just want more Die Hard. Give me more Die Hard.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
This movie's like well over 2 hours long. Too.
Shockingly,
It
like,
flies, though.
I was looking at that, like I'm like, wow, I've
I
had
could
a
put
couple
this
of
on
beers and
again.
I
and be
think I want
happy.
some popcorn, and I look at the time, like, holy shit, we're only 40 minutes into this, and it's 2 hours long. Wow.
I'm getting to certain points going, oh, I still got a long way to
Yeah.
go. Just 'cause
There's
I
still
know
a
where
lot
I'm at in the movie.
And
a
I did
movie to unfold.
At no point I was like, oh, get on with it. No point.
No, you never. It's too entertaining and too well paced.
Yeah.
This is like
that's the big
exactly
thing.
a perfectly paced action movie that I think people have forgotten in Hollywood that if you want to make a long ass movie, you better pace that motherfucker correctly. So
Exactly.
it doesn't feel like it's 2 hours plus.
Yeah.
But
I think that my biggest beef with Die Hard with a Vengeance is no school has classroom doors where you can lock people in.
yeah, usually they're one-sided. Like you can lock people
You lock
out
people
from going
out
it.
of the classroom, but you don't lock people in the classroom.
Yeah, because that's a fire issue.
Right.
Yeah, I just would never thought about that, I guess.
This
That
is
makes sense,
95.
yeah.
Maybe they didn't care back then.
Well, this is also you gotta have some reason for them to go back and get the kids. The
Yeah.
kids just open up the
Sure,
doors.
but there could have been 1,000 other things that could have kept those kids trapped in something. They weren't in a classroom, they were in some other smaller space, and the door is busted, or
Have,
whatever. but-
have them immediately go up to the roof, and now you're already on the roof where you're gonna end up anyway. That door would be locked from either way because that's a safety thing and the ingress. But yeah, it's movie logic. We have to do this.
I
in order
know,
to make
but
this
those
happen.
are
But
the
I
kind of
agree. I
things
agree with you.
that are annoying.
Especially
as an
for
expert,
something you watch a lot.
Yeah,
I
get that.
Right.
You guys are talking about that, and I'm sitting here going, just like, what are the things that would annoy me in this? I think I have one moment in this movie that
please.
I don't even want to say it annoys me, but it almost doesn't fit. Is him getting launched out of the tubes?
Oh no, I love it so much. That stays.
It's
That's
hilarious.
the vent. That's the air
But
vent. That's the air duct.
Doesn't match the tone of the rest of the movie. Like
they needed a way to get him and Sam Jackson back together,
Yep.
and still be in the right path.
And he has a hell of a way of flagging a person down.
Right.
Sam Jackson
It's
just
this
happens to
movie's-
be there.
Right. It's this movie's version of jumping with the,
Oh, it is.
the
fire hose.
The fire hose.
Mhm.
And then not instantly smashing into the building, but having to
Right.
break the glass to be able to get through because
They have Jerry talking, and he goes, "Oh yeah, as you go down through here, and if you look up there, we're under 500
Oh,
feet."
it was
so he has
it was
to go up
foretold. Yep.
500 feet,
Oh, yeah.
launch in the air, and lands in a puddle, and he's okay. And again,
Oh,
this is me going, if I have to pick
Yeah.
something to pick apart in this movie,
Agreed.
it kind of has to be this, because everything else is somewhat realistic. Hell, even zip lining the winch cable at the end, it's like, okay, I could see McClane doing that. Oh yeah, getting that splinter
Ow!
of
Ow!
steel
Ow!
in his fucking shoulder.
Uh,
It's
nope.
like, how do we bloody him up a little bit more? Let's just shove steel in his goddamn arm.
yeah.
But if I have to pick the most, like, holy shit, really? It's launching him up out the whale's blowhole
So
like
funny.
Jonah and
Yeah.
flying
Yeah.
through the
Yeah.
air. But again, that I have to really think about it.
Yeah.
All right, so we're almost to the end of this. Pete, you got a little bit of homework for us. I said,
Oh,
we have to
yeah.
knock out our homework real quick.
Kathleen said it even better than I did earlier. So, the way I described it and the way you described it was way better. So, the homework tonight is, friends, what was the moment that you fell in love with Bruce Willis? What was that theatrical silver screen moment where you went, he's so dreamy?
I didn't know we were supposed to be dreamy. I thought I was going more along the lines of, oh, this guy's badass and I want to be.
Well, that's the magic that is Bruce.
They're one
is
and the same.
badass and dreamy, all one and the same. I mean, we talked about this a little bit before, but for me, it started with Moonlighting.
Mhm.
Mr. David Addison, private detective, on TV with Sybil Shepherd.
Shepherd,
And
ooh.
actually, Troy and I just recently, because it's streaming on Amazon, I think.
Yeah.
I think
It
it's
might
on
be.
Amazon.
I think they finally got it sorted out where they could stream it. They're still waiting
Yeah.
on a physical release.
Okay.
And we saw that it was on there, and I was like, oh God, let's see how that holds up. Because, which we do very carefully, because our childhood was destroyed by trying to rewatch The Greatest American Hero.
Oh,
Don't do it.
is it
Don't
bad?
do it. Keep it the perfect memory that you have in your heart.
Okay.
Sing the theme
I
song.
can't believe in myself.
Why is it
I'm
so
on
fucking
the
catchy?
top of
Like-
the world. Couldn't be somebody else. I'm getting all the words wrong.
You are, but
Leaving
Close
on
enough.
the- I'm walking on it.
If you want to see him in a good movie, just watch House. Then you're
Ooh,
good.
House is
oh yeah, I
pretty
mean
good,
William Catt is great. Like all the actors are fantastic, but that show is so.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah,
It
there's
doesn't
something
age
about it that
well.
just doesn't hold up.
So what about Moonlighting?
But Moonlighting
Does it hold up?
does hold up. There are a couple
Ooh.
things where looking at it now, you realize our televisions are too large and our definition is too high quality.
Sure.
Boy, can you tell that when at the end of the pilot of that show, when Sybil Shepherd is supposedly clinging on the side of the building, that is the dudiest dude in an ugly dress and the worst wig ever.
Hell
It
yeah.
doesn't even remotely look
I-
like it is the good beer, bad movie night version of Sybil Shepherd on the
Oh,
side of a building.
I
It
think
is
that will make it even better.
so bad. But
It's the stunt
The
double
show-
from Baseball. The
Yeah.
guy playing the princess with the
Yes,
mustache
Spaceballs,
and
yeah.
smoking the cigar. I'm the stunt double.
You caught our
Yes.
stunt doubles.
it is
Fools.
but the show itself holds up, and we were looking at it a little bit because the pilot was like a movie. Like we're watching it,
2
I'm like,
hours,
God
isn't it?
damn,
Yeah.
how long is this pilot? It was like 2 hours long. And so, and of course in streaming, they don't break it up into probably what was the 1 hour, 2-night
that way,
special
yeah,
kind of
yeah.
thing that it was on. It just kept going on and on. I was like, when are we going to get to the point where the show starts?
This doesn't feel like TV for some reason.
Right, exactly. But yeah, it holds up, and it's that quick speech, snarky
Mhm,
but
mhm.
smart wisecrack, like play on words, pun, kind of language that he uses in that. And I started really thinking about it when you texted me and were like, this is your homework. And I realized Bruce Willis, much like I have a whole theory about Brad Pitt. If Brad Pitt is dirty in the film, it's a good film. And if he's clean, it's not, other than the Ocean's 11 movies. So like the filthier he is as a human being, Fight Club, fantastic movie.
Yep.
Meet Joe Black, garbage. So, I hate A River Runs Through It. It's a terrible movie. It's
Snatch.
boring as all
He's
shit
dirty
out.
in Snatch.
Snatch is
Right,
awesome.
he's dirty in Snatch. Like the dirtier he is, the better the movie is. At least for his younger films. I haven't watched much of his stuff lately, but I realized that kind of applies to my favorite Bruce Willis movies too. Like, of course, he's filthy in all the Die Hard movies. 12 Monkeys. I love 12 Monkeys.
Oh,
I know a
12
lot of
Monkeys
people-
is so good.
It is so good.
I haven't watched it in
It's
forever. But
Oh, good. And I don't really love Madeline Stowe, but she's pretty good in that. So, 12 Monkeys is really good.
Hudson Hawk?
What Hudson Hawk? See, the Hudson Hawk is
Love
he's
Hudson
not really
Hawk.
dirty, so like it's okay. But
I
you
love
know,
Hudson Hawk. I love that movie.
Hudson
love
Hawk's
Hudson
so
Hawk.
good.
It's
yeah,
so
I
much
mean it's
fun.
good for the thing that it is. There are, when you lay it up against other things, it's like, okay, it just falls in the okay category. But for the type of movie that it is, it's
About,
it's kind of
9
like Clue.
The Whole 9 Yards.
Whole 9 Yards is okay.
Oh, I love that movie.
I say I
That's
like
a lot
that
of
better
fun.
than the whole 10 yards.
Well, that is okay.
Red.
Revelation.
Red
Revolution.
too. I like
Never
Red.
mind.
Yeah.
Yeah, getting
Red.
back more into that action kind of concept.
Yeah.
What was the other one that I was looking at it today and was like, oh god, that's such a good one. I haven't thought about that one forever.
Armageddon?
No.
It's gotta be Armageddon. Clearly.
Stop. Why? Why do you want to talk about terrible Ben Affleck? What is wrong with you guys?
I have Hudson Hawk.
Is that a
on.
4K release?
Yeah. Kino Lorbo.
Oh,
I
there's
need
a
that.
4K of Hudson Hawk?
Yeah, I need that.
4K or 2K? I can't remember.
It doesn't matter.
Don't care.
I don't-
It's more Hudson Hawk in my life.
I just want the extras. I want the commentary and you got a Blu-ray too, or is that that's what
audio
was in-
commentary, the story
Yeah,
of Hudson
yeah,
Hawk featurette,
yeah.
My Journey to Minerva featurette, Hudson Hawk
Pulp
theme,
Fiction.
Pulp Fiction,
music
sure.
video, deleted scenes, and theatrical trailer. That's all. The special
Okay,
features.
I'm gonna go buy that.
Hudson Hawk.
The fifth element.
Element?
He's
So
filthy in
good.
that movie. So good. So good.
I like this theory here.
So yeah.
How about
Now,
like Last Man Standing? Have you ever seen that one?
Oh
Yes.
It's
He's
a remake
cleaning
of
that.
Jimbo. It's a remake.
He starts cleaning that.
He
He's
does.
not very clean as the movie goes on, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Looper. Have you guys seen that one?
I like
Man, Looper's
I like
so
that
good.
one.
Familiar.
It is. It's a weird one, but I really like that one.
how they got Joseph Gordon-Levitt to look like a
Joseph-
younger.
yeah.
Oh, so
But also,
good.
he's like such a damn good actor that he's able to do those mannerisms.
Yes.
Because
Yes.
JGL is an
Yes.
underrated actor.
That I totally agree with you. I think
Yep.
he's amazing.
You're the best
So,
buddy,
Last Boy
JGL.
Scout is definitely one of my favorite Bruce
Oh,
Willis
mhm.
movies.
Last Boy Scout.
for sure. And
Classic.
again, he's filthy up there dancing that jig at the end.
Well, I
But-
think we know when Kathleen fell in love with Bruce Willis.
Yeah, I think
so
we got
it's-
it. Yep.
just
Dirty.
him being him. I mean, dirty.
Well,
dirty.
it's more of that idea. It's the language, it's the speech pattern that he has, the way he talks. Because like I like the stupid Disney movie The Kid because of the way his speech pattern is in that, you know?
Kid.
I liked oh god. I liked Look Who's Talking. You know, I could have cut out a lot of like all the Kirstie Alley bullshit, but the baby snarking off as Bruce Willis, that was
Yeah,
amazing.
I
wanted a
agree.
baby that snarked off like Bruce Willis.
You got
I sort of
Millie.
got one actually. Now that I think about
I was
it,
gonna
but-
say it's.
Excuse
close.
me, I'm so sorry.
That's all right. Nate, what movie Bruce Willis did you fall in love with him on?
I don't know what movie it would have been because like I definitely remember watching Death Becomes Her when I was real young.
Oh,
So good.
I
Love
remember
it.
watching Look Who's
He's
Talking
such
and
a
Look Who's
wimp in that
Talking
movie.
Too, and just that voice. As a kid, he had a cartoon show called Bruno the Kid, where
What?
he voiced a little kid that was a secret agent. Yeah, Bruno the Kid was awesome.
No way.
Yeah, and then just Die Hard in general. So, I mean, God, I don't know what the first one would be. Like, I really don't. Because even, like, he's not his classic self in Death Becomes Her. I just remember thinking that movie was funny as hell as a kid.
Yeah.
Because it is. Yeah.
Yeah. He's fantastic. Like, that movie works and is so great because we're taking the exact opposite human that is John McClane.
Yeah.
But we're casting John McClane to be this fool, and that's why that works.
Yeah. Oh, that works.
So yeah. I also loved Blind Date.
Oh my gosh, that was directed by Blake Edwards, one of my favorite
I don't know this
comedic
one.
directors.
It's 1987.
Not Christy Brinkley. Was it Christy Brinkley or was it?
It is. Hold on.
Yeah,
let me look.
yeah, it was Christy
Yeah, it's
Brinkley.
Chris. No, it's
Yeah.
Kim Basinger.
Kim Basinger. I'm sorry, the other blonde. Right.
Yeah.
It's if
Wow.
you haven't seen it.
Between the Germans and the blondes, God, you're so.
I know I'm such a
You're
racist
terrible.
asshole.
Jesus, just another.
Come on,
blonde shirt.
buddy.
I
Well,
know.
Pete, what's your Bruce Willis movie you fell in love with?
Oh
again?
God. So Bruce, I love old movies, and if you watch enough old movies, and this isn't snarky at all, but there's a cadence for especially old comedies. Let's just say, for instance, Abbott and Costello. Let's
Yeah.
take one of the great
Vaudevillian.
right.
Mm-hmm.
Their banter back and forth, but it's rapid fire Tommy gun jokes back and forth, how they talk to each other, and Bruce does that, and I don't know how he does it because he's so far removed from that era. He learned it somewhere. In the Moonlighting TV series, he and Sybil had that. And actually the whole cast had that. It was incredible writing. In Hudson Hawk, boom, 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 like just back and forth, bang, 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 bang. And especially in this movie, he and Sam Jackson would just throw verbal punches at each other all the time. And it just brought me back to those days when you were watching my ears had to slow some movies down to follow the cadence and dialogue of some of these old comedies. And it's all go watch some old Marx Brothers movies and just try to follow Groucho in some of the back and forths he has, not just with his brothers, but with the other cast members. It's
Night at the Opera. Watch
yeah,
Night
right,
at the Opera.
right. It's
That's the best
challenging. Good luck following that comedy. And if you can slow it down enough in your brain or watch it enough times, that's really funny shit. So I love Bruce Willis for having that throwback vaudevillian acting prowess that, boy, I don't know anybody has anymore. It's tough. That's a tough. That's a tough thing to do.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of who has that kind of back and forth.
Patton Oswalt, maybe. I don't know. That kind of dialogue isn't written anymore, and I think part of it is Bruce Willis is so good at improving that he can just bada. So give me your best improvers.
Yeah,
had
I mean, Amy Poehler and Tina Fey
Sure.
are like that.
Yep. Agreed.
That back and forth,
Uh-huh.
just quick, one right after the other
That
one.
one person, your bestest bestie, you can just rapid fire off of each other. Neither of you crack a smile, and everybody else is rolling. That's
Well, you're talking like even the Chris Farley and
David Spade.
David Spade.
Yeah, that's a little more.
It was a little
straight man
slow.
to the big joke.
Yes,
Mhm.
it is.
It was slow and deliberate, and the jokes were there. It wasn't. I'm telling you, man, go back and watch those old Marx Brothers movies. That's what I'm talking about.
You're
not,
talking
not
kind
that
of comedy.
Chris
I
Farley
like that
isn't
stuff.
as good. I'm just saying it's different.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
Chris Farley and David Spade is more that the odd couple, the straight man
Yes.
and the the constant mess kind of joke versus the verbal back and forth. I'm trying to think of a modern pairing.
Probably not one, honestly.
It's like I got nothing.
Really, yeah. Not to mention comedy's kind of dead anymore. You know, whenever you look at it,
It's not a lot funny in the world.
Well, it's
anymore.
really different than it's one of those things that evolves oddly because it's so drastically different than what it was 10 years ago, which was so drastically different than what it was 10 years before that.
Mhm.
So
that's the way that works.
I would say, I don't know banter back and forth, but Jon Stewart has that kind of delivery speed as well in the way that he
I mean, he's definitely fast
talks.
with his jokes.
Right.
Him and
Yeah.
John Oliver, I would agree.
Yeah.
Oliver
And
Stone.
maybe if you put the two of them in a
That would be
conversation
interesting.
back and forth, you might get what you're looking for.
There are others. I'm blanking on others like this, but yeah, that's
So
that's
basically,
why
you just
I love
loved-
Bruce Willis. I mean,
You love Bruce Willis because of the comedy aspect.
because of his
Yeah.
ability to deliver. His
timing.
presence, his timing is impeccable. So, what about you, Nate? What
I
Or did you
already
already-
went. Now it's Charlie's
you already
turn.
went? Charlie's turn.
Oh, my
I'm
turn.
confused. I need another beer.
That's exactly what that means. He needs another beer. If I ignore Die Hard, because for me, I've always known him as the McClane. He's always been John McClane.
Oh, sure.
I think the moment when I realized Bruce Willis was a damn good actor was 97. And that's when Fifth Element came out.
Mm.
And I absolutely fell in love with the Fifth Element because I love sci-fi movies. Then I had, John McClane running around on alien spaceships and being his, snarky self on that. But then another movie came out that year that caught me off guard. And actually, me and my dad watched it and we were just like, holy shit, what did we just watch? And we watched it again like the very next day, and it's The Jackal with Richard Gere
I don't know that
and
one.
Bruce Willis is the bad guy. He's an
Yeah.
assassin. And my God, the range he has in that, because he's basically like a chameleon. And I absolutely adore that movie. And it's like two sides of the coin. You've got the Fifth Element Bruce Willis, and then you have the Jackal Bruce Willis. And I realized, shit, I really like him as an actor.
Nice.
And I've seen almost every Bruce Willis movie there is if he's on the cover. Now, yes, I haven't dove into all the ones he recently did, which was just to lend his name to a straight to video movie because that was padding the old bank account because everyone knew what was coming
Yeah.
for his mental health. And there's no disparagement from that.
Mm-mm.
Get your bank. That was
Yeah.
the deal.
Set your family up.
It was, if you want to use mine, you can put my picture on the cover. You can put my name in top billing. I will show up for 1, maybe 2 days, and it's $1 million. And that's what they paid. That was the thing. And he did them one after another. And people were kind of making fun of him at first for that.
Don't eat a
Till
bag of
this was before
shit.
anybody knew.
It's before we knew,
Right.
because I was
And-
making fun of him hardcore for it. Like, he's
Were
just making
you? Oh,
shitty
Oh yeah.
movies.
Well, this was like what Steven Seagal does. It's
Yeah.
like just pump a movie
This
out.
is how has the mighty
Punk ass
fallen.
bitch.
Yeah.
Right.
Then this came out of why he was doing this, and everyone's like, okay,
Oh.
we get it. Go for it. Do that. I'll go buy the movie now. I may never watch it, but I'll at least buy it. So I've always loved Bruce Willis, man. I've never gone wrong with a Bruce Willis movie. But yeah, it's always been Die Hard, but to really know him as an actor and really be like, oh shit, I need to pay attention to him, was Fifth Element and The Jackal.
Nice.
Yeah.
Two of some of the
Unbreakable is also a really powerful performance.
I
Unbreakable's really good.
liked that.
Yeah,
Unbreakable movie.
I always really like that. I know more people have come around to it because it got panned big time.
Oh, it bombed. It bombed bad.
Well,
People
Right.
did not
Following
like
Sixth Sense and just not really knowing what to think
Right.
of it back
Success
then.
was pretty
Right.
awesome, but I
And-
really liked Unbreakable.
Yeah, the sequels coming out of Glass and Split that make that kind of a rough trilogy.
Split was awesome. Glass,
Split.
I don't know about.
Split should have
See,
been a
I-
movie by itself, not in that universe. Glass should have
Agreed.
never happened.
Agreed.
It should have went Unbreakable, and then let him do Split. Could have stood on its own without being part of the universe. And
Yeah, maybe.
McAvoy, fucking
So
brilliant in that movie.
Split
yeah,
Right.
he's really good.
If you want to talk about another actor that people sleep on a little too much, fucking McAvoy, man. He's more than just Professor Xavier. You know,
Mhm.
it's
Oh, yeah.
Well, I mean, that's kind of what most people. Oh, he played the young Professor X.
He was a good Professor X, though.
Dude, watch him
Yeah.
and stuff in like Atomic Blonde and stuff like. I think he's got a new movie coming out where he plays like a psycho.
He was in Wanted. He was awesome in Wanted.
Oh, I loved him in Wanted. I don't care what anyone says. I love throwing bullets out of guns that
Yeah.
curve around walls. That shit's awesome. But all right, this is Bruce Willis love fest tonight here. But I think it's time we get into the things. What do you guys?
Is it a
think?
Bruce
Do
Willis
it.
orgy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We just shot Pete.
Did I get a new?
Yes.
Leave anything for us?
Just bodies.
Body count. Body count. Body count. Body count.
So I found a couple like swinging numbers. One thing I found was 15, and I was like, "Is that only what John McClane did?" But then I found another one that was 65, and I feel like that one sounds a little bit more accurate because when the killing starts happening, and I'm sure there's people that die in some of the explosions, and
Right.
I feel like some people died in the subway thing. There was a
Had
lot
to
of
have.
people really close to the car, so they had to have gotten wiped out. But I'm sticking with the 65. That sounds like a Die Hard
think
kind of number for me.
That sounds fair.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're gonna do that. Now we're gonna pick our favorite.
Have you ever killed anyone?
Yeah, but they were all bad.
What our favorite kill? Pete, why don't you tell us what your favorite kill in Die Hard with a Vengeance is?
Boy, I wanted to go with because I was watching real close. Like, these are all gun deaths, and gun deaths to me are boring. Like, bang, you're dead. So when I saw his girlfriend slice that guard up, I'm like, that's got to be it, right? That's it, easy peasy. Nope. That dude getting cut in two with a cable.
Yes.
And then after
The
he gets
visual.
cut in two with a cable, Bruce grabs his arms and Sam grabs his ankles, and they turn around.
They're going the same
They
direction.
go the same direction.
They're side by side
They're two
dragging
pieces
them.
of- Yes.
Yeah.
So good.
It's a good gag. It's a
And
good
the thing
gag.
that's great is you don't have to see the gore.
No, you don't.
See
No.
you see the hands, you see the feet, you see them
Yeah.
side by side backing up, and you don't have to see even the trail of blood.
Right.
Like any of that to understand what's happening and be able to appreciate it.
There's even a brief head fake where Bruce grabs his arms and Jackson comes around. You see his back and he picks up the legs, and then he turns around and backs up the same direction as Bruce.
Oh,
So
yeah.
it's
It's full on sight gag.
it's
yeah.
great.
Mhm.
It's
100%.
wonderful.
Kathleen,
that's
what's your
mine.
favorite kill in Die Hard?
I think it's probably the same one because I don't like Ricky on the stairs, the
No,
cop that they kill.
I hate that they kill
That's-
him.
I don't like that. And most of the elevator scene is just two lumps of chaos that you don't really get to see or appreciate
The-
anything.
The
There's
face
no
part's pretty cool.
To me, there's no Hans Gruber moment in this
Mhm.
movie where it's like a clear. It's because it's so much chaos. So I'd have to go with the guy getting ripped apart by that cable, because you even see when that cable comes through, the two body pieces
It
fully
happens
separate
Oh,
in
yeah.
the
Oh, yeah.
so
air.
fast that you're
Yeah.
like, can I see that?
Oh yeah, it's awesome. All because of a Dodge pickup getting drug off of the end of a bridge.
For real, apparently that really happened. Apparently they really pulled a pickup truck off of that bridge.
Cool.
That's awesome.
I love it. I love it. So all practical effects in this thing is wonderful.
Bruce Willis flew up 500 feet in a tunnel with water. That is fucking amazing.
that
It's like Superman flying out of that
happened.
bitch. It totally did. Nate, what's yours, bub?
Oh, it's the same one. Come on, man. That kill's awesome.
Yeah.
Kill's so
Oh.
great. Catches you off guard because this isn't that type of movie. So, like,
right.
when a dude gets split in half, I'm there for it.
No, it's a good kill. Normally, I would be like all with you guys, but I can't ignore when Bruce, and it's the elevator, but it's the last one, and it's when fucking Bruce shoots Otto in the head, and it's not so much shooting Otto in the head; it's when the blowback hits him in the face, and he reacts like, "Holy fuck, what did I just do?"
Someone shot him with a blood cannon.
Yeah, I feel like that was like an actual reaction, and they kept it. And but he's trying to stay like, okay, I'm still on task. I got to figure out what the fuck to do next, because apparently they've infiltrated this building, and he now is spending the next bit of the mission covered in Otto's fucking brain. I just love it, man. I do love the guy getting cut in half. It is fucking amazing, and the joke to finish it off is awesome. And I agree with Nate. There's not really a great kill on Jeremy Irons at the end of this.
It's disappointing.
I don't think any of the movies have ever been able to recreate that ending from part one with Han.
Has any movie? I mean, that's one of the most satisfying.
Part 4 does have him shooting himself to kill the bad guy. It's pretty bad.
Oh yeah,
it's really badass.
Right.
Don't tell anyone I had to do that. But no, yeah. But he does drop the one chick down the elevator shaft in the vehicle. He goes, I think it was your girlfriend. It's just she's down there wearing a SUV at the moment. That was funny. I do like that movie because I love Timothy Olyphant, and he made a fucking great villain in that movie.
Yeah, I love him too.
But all right, let's rate this thing.
Yeah.
I'm gonna lead us off on this one, just so it kind of makes everyone else's job a little bit easier here. This movie's a 10. I had to nitpick something to find a negative to it, but I watched this as much as I watched part 1. I feel like this is McTiernan capturing something that no one expected could happen in the third sequel. I mean, we've talked a lot about how sometimes sequels are better than the first. We've talked about, whether Terminator 2 is better than Terminator, is Lethal Weapon 2 better than Lethal Weapon. Yeah. But when you're going, is Die Hard with a Vengeance as good as Die Hard? It's pretty damn close. It's pretty damn close. And it's close enough where I'm not going to call it a 9.5. I'm going to call it a 10. This movie's just fun, and I love it. So, Kathleen, what are you going to rate on a scale of 1 to 10?
Obviously, it's going to be an 11.
Yeah!
It is amazing.
The guest says, screw you and your rating system. I'm giving
this
it 11.
rating goes to 11.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I love this movie. I love the first movie. And watching them back to back was really fascinating. Treat. And it let me pull out details that I hadn't before. When you look at clearly right before the first Die Hard movie, Bruce has had some kind of shoulder surgery because he has a big old scar that is bright red all through the first movie.
Oh, really?
And then in that third movie, that scar is still there. And I was like, oh, that was definitely a Bruce rotator cuff surgery or some kind of thing, because it's like right here at that side where his arm meets his torso, and you can see the scar in the third movie, but it is the same color as his skin. It is not angry and red like it is in that first movie. But so it was fun to kind of be able to do that with the two of them, seeing them back to back like that. But
you got a real good look
love
when he took
one.
his shirt off too. I mean,
oh yeah, though I was laughing about like how unbelievably giant deep the armpit cuts are on those white t-shirts that he's wearing. I was like, isn't the point of wearing a undershirt like to protect the shirt that you're wearing from the grossness that is your body? That doesn't work when the armpit hole comes down to your waist. Like I was like, what is happening in this t-shirt? No, but yeah, it's a perfect movie. The first one is a perfect movie. I love them absolutely.
Fantastic. Pete, gotta follow that up. Where are you ranking Die Hard with a Vengeance?
So like the action movies we watch and I've really enjoyed, and I'm gonna focus on Demolition Man because
I love that movie.
I love Demolition
All restaurants
Man.
are Taco Bell.
True. It's funny. It's exciting. It's got tension. And when you guys picked this one, I'm like, oh, I remember. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't watch this one very often, and I'm going to correct that. This was one that I saw in the theater, and frankly, I don't know if I've seen it, but once or twice since the theater. Demolition Man, I hold in T2 and some others, I hold at the pinnacle of my favorite action movies of all time. And going into this movie, I was thinking, this isn't as good as them. This isn't going to be as much fun. It's just, I have to give it like at least a 9, right? At the end of this movie last night, it's a fucking 10, baby. This movie is so much fun, and it deserves all the accolades. Done. Pencils down. 10. Nate, go.
Damn. It's interesting. 95, incredible year for action movies. Pierce Brosnan was GoldenEye. Like that's first 007. Heat came out in 95. Desperado, Bad Boys.
Oh, Desperado. No shit.
Some badass movies, but I still think this is one of the best action movies of the 90s. I think it's proof that your third movie can still kick ass. And the fact that it's the third movie in the 90s where we don't have the internet that we have today, by all means, this movie could have been a terrible flop because of people going, I don't want to watch some part 3 of an action movie from the 80s. But it all works because of Bruce, because of Sam Jackson.
Especially when 2 was dodgy.
Jeremy Irons is a fantastic villain. It's clearly it's a 10, guys. Like, even with the issues I have of that very final ending of Jeremy Irons getting killed, it doesn't matter because then Sam Jackson gets the best line ever. Like, just let those fuckers burn for a little bit longer. Yeah. It's just like, God. And like, I never know if I like this one more than part 1. They're kind of equal for me. Like, they're just so damn good. I am curious, The Offspring, what was her thoughts on this, Kathleen?
So she was funny because we watched the first one first. She was in it for the doubleheader with us. And my favorite part with the first one with her is when Hans Gruber first comes on scene and he's speaking, except he's just young enough, and Hans Gruber doesn't look anything like Professor Snape, like he's Snape is sallow with long stringy black hair that's slicked back, and Gruber's got a stylish haircut and the goatee beard thing going on. But as soon as he started talking, I like watched her face, and she went from just like watching the movie being like, she's like the eyes narrowed, and it's like that gif of like the math problems flying over your face, like that's what it reminded me of. And then we paused the movie. I think the dogs went apeshit or whatever. And so we paused the movie, and I made Troy go make us some popcorn. And she was like, why do I know that voice? Why do I know that voice? Why do I know that voice? And I was like, I don't know. So she picks up her phone and she starts, Googling, and she goes, oh, okay, Alan Rickman. Okay. Oh, he's in Harry Potter. Okay. And then she's like, he's Snape. Like, she just lost her mind about it. It was great. And, I was like, yes, Millie, that's why I have a very curated Funko Pop collection, and I have Hans Gruber and Severus Snape, and they need to make a Colonel Brandon, but they're not in their Jane Austen era yet. So, but
the Sheriff of Rottingham.
Oh my God, yes, I told Troy that's the next one.
Oh, wait, no, that's not the right one.
He's in there.
Nottingham. He's the actual. He's not men in tights. He's Robin Hood.
No. He's in the other. He's the best part of the other film because it will hurt more.
Yes.
But yeah. So she really liked the first one. She was like, "All right, that was good. Okay, I like this." And then we sort of arm twisted her into watching the third one with us, and I forgot how long that one was. So she was kind of like drooping off at the end, but she definitely really liked it. She was of course floored by the sandwich board sign at the first scene in Harlem, because
as you should be.
Whoa, absolutely,
it's exactly what that's for. It's to be
right, shocking.
Yeah.
But she liked it. She thought it was good, and she was like, "All right, okay, I like this. Another Bruce Willis one down.
All
okay,
right,
this is
nice.
pretty good." So yeah, because did Troy tell you guys we showed her The Sixth Sense, and like fucking 15 minutes into the movie, she goes, "Oh my God, he's dead, isn't he?" And we were like, "Oh, what?" Like, we just sat like stones and went, "Oh, you think so?" And she goes, "Oh yeah, I think so." And then we said nothing, and we just let the whole rest of the movie play. And then it was like, when it's revealed at the end, she was like, "See, I knew it." And I was just like, I cannot believe. I was like, "You're the only person on the planet that saw that, like, managed
we
to do
rewatched
that."
it back in October, and I was like, it's so fucking obvious. It's so goddamn obvious that he's dead. How did we not pick up on this right out the gate?
Yeah, because Bruce Willis doesn't die in the movie. That's why.
Or because in the 90s we were stupid. That's my answer.
Oh, it's because Bruce Willis doesn't die in the movie. There's a great comedian that talks about how women giving the silent treatment is why we could totally believe that the wife is not talking to Bruce Willis for the entire movie.
So she's mad at him for getting shot.
She's pissed at him for, like, he's late for their anniversary dinner. He's like, she's home alone watching films of when their marriage was good, and he's never around, and like all of this stuff. It's really fucking funny, but yeah, she really liked it. She was impressed by it. She was very excited because it wasn't her first R movie, because we let her watch Speed, but it was more an intense.
This is more of an earned
movie.
R.
Yeah. So she was not impressed in the first one. There's that scene where he's up in the top half of the building that's not finished, and he walks by that electrical box, and there's a centerfold like over the electrical box. And the first time he walks by, he like just kind of notices it, like, "Hey, oh, okay," and then he just keeps going. And then later he comes back around, and you realize he's in the same spot because of that poster, and he like pats it. And he's like, "Hey, girls," and then he just like keeps on going or whatever. And then there's one of the bad guys comes through, so you see it like a third time, and that's when she was like, "Okay, why does it have to be that poster? Like, why couldn't it be?" And I was like, "Because construction guys are gross." And she was just like, "Oh
my."
That would be the thing that she would like pick out. That would be her annoyances.
I hurt my feelings.
The boob poster.
Construction guys are gross.
Boobs are disgusting. I hate
construction
them.
guys from the 80s. How's that sound?
Yeah, that's gross too.
Born in the 80s.
But you were doing construction then.
I was playing with my Tonka trucks.
Yeah.
Yes.
Dad's snap-on girl bikini calendar over in the corner. It's totally fine. See, that's how that works.
The little screwdriver that you pulled upside down in the bikini.
Dad had a coffee cup.
Oh, very good. Oh,
and the clothes disappeared, and to get cold, and the clothes come back. Yep.
Yes. My dad had a pen. If you turned a certain way, he got it at a bachelor party.
Of course they did.
Yes. I remember finding at my mom's a toothbrush that was a lady's leg, and at the bottom of the foot was where the bristles were. And I was like, "What the hell is this?" And she was like, "Your dad went to a party with some of his friends, and that was like the gift that everybody got, was this
Tarantino toothbrush.
This lady leg toothbrush." It's like the dumbest thing I've ever seen.
It just sounds weird.
I got a beer bottle.
I'd rather have a leg lamp.
Yes. Millie's also offended by the leg lamp. She thinks it's horrifying.
My goodness.
Ralphie
I
liked it.
know.
Nate, you got a trash
Oh,
opinion
do
for us tonight,
I
Bubba?
ever?
Oh, I
Awesome.
don't want to hear this.
Let's hit the trash.
I'm the trash man. I come out, I throw trash all over the ring, and then I start eating garbage. And then I pick up the trash can and I smash the guy on the head.
Oh, that's going to be a disaster.
This comes from Sky38 back in 2012, who gave this 1 out of 10 and said Die Hard 3 sucks. Die Hard 3 is nothing more than an over-budgeted cash grab. Die Hard and Die Hard 2 had the advantage of being pure popcorn movies, something that Mr. and Mrs. America go see without having to expend too much brain power. My rule for multi-sequels is simple. Anytime another franchise movie comes out, it has to come out within 3 years of everything else. Die Hard was 98, Die Hard 2 was 1990. Not too much time to get bored, if you take my meaning. But Die Hard 3 came out 5 years after Die Hard 2, and you can lose the feel after such a long period between movies. Maybe spoiler. I objected mostly to the scene when McClane is compelled to wear a sign in Harlem that has a most distasteful message printed on it. This was the first sign, no pun intended, that this movie wasn't going to be quote-unquote fun. After that, it just gets worse. Sorry, Jeremy Irons, but Pee Wee Herman could have been a better bad guy than you. Not to mention this quote-unquote brother crap, which has been done to death. The cinematography was flatter than a 3-day-old beer. No depth, no artistry, and no nothing. Too bad that Jan DeBot wasn't available, but then again, he had already moved on to better things. The quote-unquote script left little room for Willis's normal brand of ad-libs, and even when it did, even Willis seemed to be tired of the whole bit. Sample line, rough quote. What is this? A AAA rental? Ha, ha, ha. Not. Really, you should invest more in scripts and less than hyperbole. And now, another Die Hard movie? Count me the yippee-ki-yay motherfucker out.
I
That is
hate
sad.
They have a 3-year rule.
For a movie they're rating in
I
2012.
know, right?
Right.
So
9 years later, 19 years later.
let me just say, quote unquote, that guy's a fucking asshole. Quote unquote.
I don't
Fucking
think
hate
they
when they do
understood
that
Die
shit,
Hard 3
dude.
at all.
I hate
No.
Nate. I hate this.
Yeah, I
bit.
know, I like
Hate
it.
All right.
It's a good bit.
Well,
Let you know
that's a
that
good
there's
bit.
people out there that aren't like you.
I like that this guy said hyperbole in it, and I don't think he knows what hyperbole means.
I was
No.
actually impressed that Nate almost
I
got it
almost
100%
did.
right
I was
when he
like,
said it.
uh-oh.
You
Don't
Here we
worry.
go.
Don't worry about how Nate
I was
said
waiting
it.
for hyperbole or something, but I was like,
That's-
what?
That's
Hyper-
not what he said.
I mean, it's very close,
yay.
but Hyperbowl just sounds like a Nintendo Entertainment System game.
It does.
Ooh, that
But
sounds like
I know,
fun.
right?
when Nate has to read these things, I like to give him props when he's earned it, and I think he earned that one. It was a good
You
job,
earned
buddy.
it there. That's
Good job, buddy.
I would have rage quit that one.
Oh yeah.
Pete wouldn't even do this bit. All right. Well, that is
I'm not doing
Die
this
Hard
bit.
with a Vengeance, our first episode of December. Nate, would you care to tell the good people what our second
Well,
episode of December?
Because I don't like to do Christmas movies. And Christmas horror, I think, is stupid. So we always made a rule that it has to be, a snowy theme. Even though, thanks to climate change, it's probably going to be 73 degrees on
We're
Christmas.
not ever going to see
Yeah.
snow again.
So we're going to do
I wish that
a
was funny.
snowy horror movie called 30 Days of Night.
Yeah.
So we're going to get some vampires going in the snow.
Kathleen, have you seen that one?
Mm,
It's legit one of the better vampire horror movies you've seen. It's
I
really
don't
good.
think that I have seen
It's
that.
really good.
Is a good
Yeah. I'm
Yeah.
very
Really
one.
excited.
One of my favorite.
It's got a really interesting, fascinating
Great plot device.
Premise.
Hmm.
So, looking forward to it. Even though Nate was the one that was like, no themes, he still picked a snowy
Yeah, but that
December
doesn't
movie.
mean there's like a theme for the whole month that, makes it to where you have to cover like, I don't know, Blood Beat.
Right. That was your fault.
We
Or
by the way.
Ninja, the
I
Violent
got,
Sorcerer.
I got an action movie in the snow.
No.
You have a movie in the snow?
I got action movies in the snow. I got horror
Dude.
movies in the snow.
Yes. We have to watch a bad snow movie for Good Beer, Bad Movie.
Hey, Kathleen, tell them about what we're watching. Oh, is this the time we're allowed?
Yeah, are you allowed?
All right.
This will be out before the 15th, so if you want to tell people what's coming out the 15th.
Yeah, that's fine. We're watching Hot Frosty.
What the hell is Hot Frosty?
Good
is
question.
It's Netflix's answer to the Hallmark Christmas movie.
Oh, son
Oh
of a
And
boy.
It is about somebody makes a muscular snowman and somehow he comes to life and then he learns how to be a real boy and falls in love and whatever. And it looks so unbelievably stupid, but like not stupid that's going to make people angry, stupid that's going to make people laugh. Troy heard about it from Pop Culture Happy Hour and he told me about it. And so, of course, we texted my friend Katie, who loves all things Hallmark movies.
Oh, this woman is wrong.
When we were trying to decide what to do for December, I thought we were going to do Ernest Saves Christmas. And then we ended up deciding not to for whatever reason. We started talking about other things to do. And I jokingly said that we should do this. And as I described it, Pete was like, I think you just talked me into it. So that's what
I
we're
don't
doing.
remember
He's gonna
saying that.
spend see, that's why recording is amazing because
But
it
I
is
edited
on
all
my-
that out of our last
yeah, it doesn't matter. It still happened. So I'm gonna have to start secretly recording our episodes with my phone just to make
What?
sure that because he's gonna spend the whole episode
How-
saying that this was my
how
idea.
about you
He's
just-
such a victim?
How about you just edit all the episodes? There you go.
How about you just be honest about what you say and you're excited about watching this movie?
Listen to this one. You're uninvited, Kathleen.
Oh, okay. Then you can watch it all by yourself.
Ah, shit.
Oh, yeah, I'd rather watch action movies.
So
Nate,
she
is
said
this
Hot
what it's like when
Frosty.
Mom
I
and
know,
Dad
like some
argue
I
beef
think the
going
first
on
thing I
middle?
said after you said Hot Frosty
Right.
was, "What are you putting a Wendy's in the microwave or something?"
Yuck. That sounds disgusting.
Yeah. Do you
I
remember
want
the
melted
microwave shakes of the 80s?
I do
Where
remember those.
where you pull them out of the freezer and they were frozen solid, and then you put them in the microwave, and then magic, they were cold milkshakes because you'd only put them in there for like 2 minutes. It was a brick of ice at that point.
Right. You're basically thawing it.
Thawing it.
What?
Dumb. Like
I've
many products that they
never
tried to
heard of
feed us.
this.
Yeah, I remember
Never.
those.
Like what? I don't remember what it was called. It was you
Hot
pull.
Frosties.
It was.
Hot Frosty.
I hope it was called a Hot Frosty. That's what you did, yeah.
It probably wasn't called a Hot Frosty because
sounds like
Wendy's
a-
existed and would have
Yeah,
had
you-
A
Frosties.
weird sex thing you only do in December. I'm not 100% sure if I'm okay with the title. Giving her the old
Give her the old Hot
Frosty.
Frosty. You know I love
Oh,
the
no.
Hot Frosty.
Oh no!
Hey, baby, you want to try out the Hot Frosty tonight?
Mm.
I bet that's 100% of the time a no.
Hot Frosty's coming to town. Anyway, thanks for joining us on this episode of Give Me Back My Action Movies. This is a little bit longer than normal, but
That's
that's
what happens
okay.
with Die
We had
Hard.
an awesome time. That's Die Hard. It deserves it.
Oh, this was a long episode. Sorry, everybody.
Yep. Make sure you tune in next week. We are doing 30 Days a Night. And after 30 Days a Night, we will reveal our Christmas movie this month. You will enjoy it. And if not, oh well.
You're dead to us.
Yeah, you're dead.
Dead!
All right. Well, I think there's only one way to get out of this one. What do you think, Nate?
Oh, I think you're absolutely right.
Yep. Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker.
Hey, right here. I got Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker, from Anna. You got yours, Charlie? Yeah. Right there.
Mine's in the other room, along with my candle. Oh, I see it. I see it.
Troy has a T-shirt that says "Yippee-ki-yay" on it, and last year somebody told him his shirt didn't have the strength of its convictions because it doesn't say motherfucker. It says Yippee-ki-yay.
Strength of its convictions.
Some